clearance with this folder too. You know what I'm saying?
You already have it. I was trying to fish it to you so you could get it, and you already have it.
Thanks, so.
I thought she dropped it, so I was trying to get you the cord.
Test.
Oh,
Cool.
way crispy.
Crisp. Is it crisp? Is it crisp from right here? Can you hear me good?
Perfect.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I can't hear me in my headphones very well.
You got your headphones up?
All the way up.
Plugged in?
How about now?
I can hear myself great now.
There we go.
Perfect.
Can you hear me now?
Art thou hearing me now?
Art,
Is
thou
thou
art.
listening?
Thou ist.
Is thou listening?
Thou art. Point your ear satellites towards my direction, if you will.
What do you think of that little stand? Does it feel chintzy and
Oh,
cheap,
no,
or
I
does
like it
feel
better
okay?
than the other one.
You like that one?
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's quiet, it's little, it's manipulable. If I want to get loud, I can just pull it in.
Cool. They were all, it was like, I think $14 for two of them.
And for this style
weren't
microphone,
expensive at all.
they're perfect.
Cool. I got extra clips too. I've got 2 extra of these if we break any.
Gucci gang.
The other ones actually
I'll
say
hold it
short
like
on
a
them.
fucking CNN reporter if you want me to.
I feel like when we're wireless, that's what I want to do. I want to get some big obnoxious boxes to put around the
big
handle.
Boofy spit cover on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
might as well go to
I
like
love it.
think about like 1987 newscasters with like the
You know
square
I have a square
shoulders
shoulder
and-
plaid suit, right?
Can we be news anchors from 1987?
Yes, we can.
Can I wear some kind of gaudy jewelry?
I don't
Some
know
kind
if
of
I've
gaudy
ever
jewelry.
been more in for an idea.
Okay,
You
so
mean
we're
I
going
get
to
to
theme ourselves as
on a
tacky
suit and
1970s and
be
1980s
obnoxious?
newscasters from now on.
Okay. Just when we're
Just occasionally.
live, you know, in
Yeah,
public.
just on occasion.
Today with the Tattoo Podcast Collecting. Your thoughts. I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna come up with some cool shit.
Let's talk. I'd like to talk to you today about the climate of the tattoo collecting community.
I have noticed that your particular collection is unique, and I would really like to discuss your decisions.
And then you could turn into like newscaster with it. Now, before you made this decision, tell me how you decided to do this.
And at the climax, what? What is your choice?
And when you'd been under the needle for 7 hours straight, tell us how you got through it. How'd you get through that last home stretch?
We need to pull up a bunch of like old 2020s. Do you know what I mean?
And they're rounding the corner.
Or who's the guy that big glasses, white hair?
Harry Carey?
No, does interviews of celebrities.
Oh, Larry King Live.
Puts the quotes up as they're saying it.
Yeah, Larry King.
We do a little Larry King action.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be Harry Carey. You'll be.
We just gotta get the outfit.
Yeah, I've got the outfit.
You know what I think I want to do? I think I want to be like a combination of like 1980s Oprah with the big hair and 1980s Sally Jesse Raphael. Can I combine those into 2 people? Wear like the knee-length pencil skirt, like over the top.
Oprah Raphael is what you want.
Yeah,
Oprah, if you will.
that's what we can call my news anchor personality.
I'm
my alter ego, if you will.
If I can swoop my hair like the businessman cut and act like Ron Burgundy, I'm fucking in.
You got to grow your mustache like Ron Burgundy, and we're in there.
Give me like 6 days. I'm in a unique position to be able to grow my whisker hairs. I love looking at the pictures from like 4 or 5 years ago, and it was like, I'm like, how did you ever mentally get to that point where that was okay? Like what was going on that was cool? Did you not enjoy sandwiches? Or you've got messages on the. I know the big one, red one doesn't matter, but I figured the little white one might.
This is saying we're being live streamed.
Oh, streamy. You pick me up before you go.
Are Russ and Forrest just gonna pop in sometime?
About 1. You know what? I should shoot Forrest the link right now while we're talking about it.
I need a necky out of me.
I need a backy out of me.
Bro, maybe we can get a package deal. Find somebody that does like Groupons or something.
What?
Why?
Why?
If the moon were made of cheese, would you eat it then?
As long as there was crackers.
Well, what if it were made of spare ribs?
I guess I'd need sauce. Maybe some cornbread.
Why?
The old lingering cough. Who can relate?
Linger. That's an active cough. Fuck you talking about?
Oh, fun. That's out.
That's what happens
Keeps freezing
every time I hit those little freaking new oil pen type rigs.
Right.
Oh yeah, they get me. The pins, they drain my sinuses. I don't know what it is about.
See, I've been smoking a lot of backwoods lately, and they're smoking these fucking swishers, harsh as fuck.
You're my favorite.
Backwoods.
I'm gonna be in Humboldt County next month. I'm super stoked.
Nice. I've never purchased weed legally, and at some point in my life, it's a bucket list thing.
You know what? It was a big
have
deal.
Never.
Oh,
Never
man.
one
I
time in my life.
happened to be in Michigan the week that it became like recreationally legal, and everybody's like, "You get to smoke weed legally for the first time," and I was like,
What?
"It tastes the same."
My shit's better.
I swear
All
it
right,
tasted
y'all,
different.
It's time to go. If everyone can mute themselves. Streams everywhere looking good. Shit. What the fuck is wrong?
I'm not hearing you guys.
What's up, Todd? Okay. All right, I guess I think we are live already. I might have already, let me make sure. Might have already hit us live. So if so, I apologize to anyone who saw my last minute stuff, but welcome to Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo, a community for tattooers, apprentices, collectors, and the curious. We encourage you to join in these live streams and real world events where we offer a new option for connecting with each other to better your art, develop your skill set, and be with other like-minded people. If you are new to the community, you can find us beaming out nearly every day. We've evolved into a quality network of amazing live and on-demand tattoo and art shows that have been really fun to be a part of. If you're currently watching the Tattoo Collecting Podcast, episode number 47, I want to say thank you to everyone joining us on YouTube or Facebook, and a special thanks to those of you who are listening to our podcast. Our event schedule and notifications can be found in our official Reinventing the Tattoo community. You can search for and download the Reinventing the Tattoo app found in both of the app stores, Apple and Google Play. You can also join us directly at community.reinventingthetattoo.com. So all of our network shows, art jams, drawing groups, interviews, panels, webinars, I could go on. All of this can be enjoyed on demand and are stored in our library as well as our YouTube and podcast channels. We have countless tattoo and art rabbit holes, perfect for your front room of your studio or to entertain your tattoo clients. In fact, we're actually beaming out 4 channels 24/7, as you can see here. Pretty soon that will be available on Roku. All right, y'all, if you also go to reinventing247.com, you can enter to win a goodie bag with samples from Cheyenne cartridges and raw pigments. So we have several weekly shows and drawing groups. If you haven't noticed that in our app yet, and I'll go through some of those that you're more than welcome to join. Every Sunday at 1 p.m., we have a Reinventing drawing group where artists are welcome to bring in a drawing or something that you'd like critiqued. That's hosted by Jason Lesser every single Sunday. On Sundays at 9 p.m. is a new show with myself, Gabe Ripley, and Jake Meeks, where we highlight different current events. It's called the Tattoo Weekly, and we really are excited to be kicking that off now. Mondays at 9 a.m., we've got a Reinventing drawing group. Also Mondays at 9 p.m., if you are familiar with Guy Aitchison's curriculum, he's got a subscribers only group exercise every Monday evening at 9, which they kind of shuffle through different topics, and it's very, very motivational and great to be a part of. Every Tuesday at 10 a.m., we've got Ricardo Sturdivant for his Reinventing drawing group. We're focusing on fundamentals. Every week is a different topic, drawing large to small, very motivational and awesome to be a part of. Every Wednesdays at noon, we have our Tattoo Now show with special guest upcoming. Yesterday was Paul Talbot. We've got Mike DeVries next week. Thursdays at noon, as you're here now, we've got the Tattoo Collecting Podcast with Fawn Baker and Jordan Ruckus. Also Thursdays, we have our subscribers only exercise with Kier, and we focus on apprentices is our main skill set that we focus on, fundamentals and all sorts of stuff. So if you're looking for ways to support our show, we have upcoming pro development and on-demand shows. We've got stuff from Andre Malcolm, BJ Betts, Bob Tyrell, and others. All of this can be found at courses.reinventingthetattoo.com. Also, as I mentioned before, this is a free community, and we want to definitely tell you why. We've got World Tattoo events. Thank you to those guys for providing the largest, most comprehensive resource for tattoo events worldwide. They have lots of stuff updating as conventions are rescheduling like crazy, so definitely check them out. Thank you to Inkjet Stencils, where you can print stencils from your mobile or computer. You save your time, hands, apprentices' hands. They've got webinars and free samples at their website as well. We've also got Raw Pigments, an ink company that is tapping into the source with acrylic-free pigments that have really been impressing artists across the globe. You can find them at rawpigments.co or at several conventions in the US and international this year. We've got Dermalize Pro, known in the US as D-Lize Pro. Protect your art. If you're using Saran Wrap, there's videos of tattooers to see what it's all about at dermalizepro.com. Also, thank you to Tattoo Now, which is providing technology for tattooers for a very long time. If you're unfamiliar with them, tattoo.now.com. Of course, we want to say thank you to Guy Aitchison, the founder and inspiration behind Reinventing the Tattoo. You can find his Biomech Encyclopedia, DVDs, machines, paintings, and all of this at guyaitchison.com. We have our affiliates that we want to say thank you to: Jake from the Fireside Tattoo Network, the Apprenticeship Diaries, and ecofriendlytattoosupplies.com. Now, if you've been following us, you'll be kind of aware of some of the upcoming events that we're doing. Notably, our BYOB Paradise Gathering by Gabe Ripley is coming up soon in October 3rd to 6th. A lot of us are going to be there, Fawn, Jordan, and other personalities from the Reinventing shows, as well as some killer lineup, Bob Tyrell, Jesse Smith, and more. We will be going overseas to Brussels, November 12th to 14th for the Brussels Tattoo Convention. Nick Baxter, Ivana, and Gabe will be doing seminars, beaming in an art jam, subscriber exclusive meetups, and general ones, all sorts of stuff. So definitely mark your calendars for that. And if you're in the calendar marking business right now, definitely don't forget May 20th to 22nd, Hell City, Columbus is coming back. July 8th to 10th in 2022, the Rock River Tattoo Art Expo. And July 29th to 31st, the Rubber City Tattoo Invitational in Akron, Ohio with Tony Urbanik. If anybody is watching, we definitely welcome your positive reviews on our channels and would love for you to follow us. If you'd like to host a Reinventing event like a drawing group or sponsor our community, just send us an email at management@reinventingthetattoo.com. Other than that, I will be in the background as they're going through the podcast today. I'll be, relaying some comments. So we definitely want to know where you're beaming in from. Today's going to be a really cool episode. A little bit later on today, we've got some special guests, Forrest G from Pittsburgh and Russ Abbott beaming in. So stay tuned for that. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Fawn and Jordan. What's up, y'all? How's it going?
Hey, welcome everybody back to the Tattoo Collecting Podcast. Thanks, Lauren.
Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
Great intro.
Hey, Todd. We didn't get a chance to say hey before we went live.
Yeah, hey, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
What's going on? Thanks.
Oh, another Thursday.
Another beautiful Thursday.
Another Thursday talking about tattoos, tattoo community. We kind of got a lot to talk about this week. We got Ben back with us.
Ben's back after a couple weeks. No Ben.
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple weeks.
Yep.
Life happens sometimes,
man. A
man.
lot of things going on.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
So
Exciting day. We got Russ here.
Yeah,
we don't get Russ here, but he's going to be beaming in around 1. While he's working on Forrest, right?
Russ is a man of like a million obligations. So he has something going on until noon, and then they're going to join us. So,
is he going to be tattooing Forrest? Yeah.
Yep. They'll be like mid-session talking at us. So we'll probably mostly be talking to Forrest.
Yeah.
But, in the room.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So I've got a whole bunch of different artists that Todd and I have been kind of like talking about all week that I bounced over to our Instagram that we can talk about later on.
The
There's this
tattoo
one-
show to talk.
Oh, go ahead.
The tattoo show that's on Netflix.
Yep.
There's a new tattoo show.
Yeah. I watched a
Yep.
few episodes last night, and Ben and I watched an episode this morning. So we're ready to talk about that one.
Really? What's the show called?
To be real,
Tattoo redo?
Tattoo
Yep.
Redo.
I
Okay, I
didn't
just
catch
seen it
the
up on
name.
someone's phone a minute ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, was that the link that you sent that?
Have you watched it yet, Todd?
Just a little bit of it. I got it on the TV right now. I'm watching it.
Nice.
It's MTV and Britain did a show like this called the Tattoo the Two of Us, where your friend would go in, you go in with your friend, and they would pick the cover up, which led to some pretty crazy cover ups. And some of them were not happy with it. But this is a little more serious in their attempt to make good cover ups. So we'll see.
Taking the art a bit more seriously.
I hope so. It seems to be. We'll see. I'm in the first episode, so I can't really tell you exactly for sure. But right now it seems to be.
Okay.
I'm pretty
Very
pleased with
cool.
it so far. One of the things that I like about it is it's not a competition. Like
No.
it's literally just people and their friends going and get tattooed.
Okay.
One of the funny things is they like put a barrier up so the person getting tattooed can't even like look down or look over.
This guy
Some of the
straight had a
people they
dog
had
collar
like
on.
a cone, a big red, like a cone of shame that they can't.
Yeah.
So they can like talk to the person that is with them, like they can talk to their homie who picked out the tattoo for them, but they can't see
They
what
can't
the
see
artist is doing.
Okay.
But everything's been really good. Like they're all really nice cover-ups. They're all nicely done. They talk a little bit about like the brainstorming process and the compromises that need to be made with cover-ups. So I like that it's kind of putting a little bit of that information out there, but I really like that it's
What
not
was
a
weird about
competition.
that is they're explaining what a cover up has to be to the person that's not getting the tattoo. So they've got a little bit of leeway on how they can explain it, because they're like, well, yeah, but it has to be this anyway. And if it's not on your body, you don't have that like, oh, well, like I think they might like that. That was the weird part for me. It would be letting somebody else choose a narrowed field of available images. You know what I mean? It's a cover up has to be a lot of lines. It has to be cross directional. It has to fill the space. It has to be larger than what's there. So like,
Wow, Ben, you rattle all that off like you've done cover-ups.
done or had
You have had a few, haven't you?
I mean, I've had a couple.
Not a lot.
Not a lot, 3 or 4.
But you've spent enough time in tattoo shops to hear and know, like,
Well, it was my job at one
what'll
point to
work and what won't.
explain to someone coming into the shop what available images there were for a cover up. So if you've got a big, gnarly, wide, one direction, thin, flat, you've only got so many options to cover that. So it was always an interesting, like, all right, you want a snake? Nah, what, you want a rose?
do you remember
Nah,
a
you
few
want
weeks
koi
ago?
fish?
Do you remember a few weeks ago hearing about
Run through the list.
the cover-up idea that came across my email stack?
It
The
was like
skull with a black
skull with-
baseball cap.
or was it the
he
polar
wanted-
bears?
That's the same
The
one.
same one. That's
Yeah,
a lot.
he had a skull with a black baseball cap, smoking a blunt, and he wanted to cover it with polar bears.
We were hearing about this one.
Yeah, but you know what? When
What
I
do you-
was at,
What
what
do
was
you do
funny
with that?
was, but let me explain. I seen something that sort of blew me away. A colored tattoo covered up with black and gray.
I'm gonna need a
How
little
do you
bit
do
more
that?
explanation there, bud.
Yes, possible.
Seriously,
Yes, possible, but not in this situation. In this situation, it was like, well, you're gonna have all outer space, and like it'll be very dark to camouflage what's there, and your polar bears are gonna be little. Like it's gonna be like.
Choose a focal point.
Do you have any other ideas?
Right.
Any at all? Like I'll do a polar bear tattoo
Any at
for
all.
you.
Any
But
at
it's
all.
not going to work as a cover up. It's kind of like when people ask for portraits as a cover up. Like, first of all, that's a hard no. You just
Yeah.
can't do a successful portrait as a cover up. I've done some like cartoon characters where the faces fall where like cover up areas are. My Coraline one, that's a super good example, but we've saturated those like peaches and lavenders like 6 times now. You can't really tell it's a cover up, but I've had the luxury of like being able to resaturate several
Did you bring
times.
up psychedelic polar bears?
I don't think he would have wanted psychedelic polar bears.
Fair. There's a certain demographic that would hit. But I feel like some people might be really down.
I mean, I'm in. You wanna
I
fucking
think some of us here would be.
I'm in. Let's do. I got
Some of us here would be.
So polar bears aren't going to work, but what if we just do polar bears in color and make them fractaling?
I mean, I'd love to tattoo something like that, but I don't think that's what he was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just one of those, like, in theory, this idea sounds great, but the cover-up situation won't allow it. The other option, maybe if he lasered off and lightened some of the dark, like the darkest areas of the existing tattoo, that would open up so many more options for us. Then maybe I could camouflage some of that with like opaque grays and light blues and like trick the eye where it's like, yeah, it's a white bear, but it's all of these like grays and richer tones that build that
A lot of
white.
neutrals could really help with that, and then another layer, if they came back for a healed pass too, but still for a full
Or-
cover up.
Put in a giant fucking rock and then put a polar bear over here.
You could probably
A polar bear wrapped around a rock of ages.
I could see some
I'm telling you
clinging
guys,
on for
we
dear
can
life.
do this. With enough weed and coffee, we could probably get this done. I'm just saying. You want a polar bear, bruh? I got you.
I feel like that would have somehow missed the mark.
I'm providing options for a poor situation.
that was me with the psychedelic polar bears. I'm like, you only got so many options, guy. Here's one of them.
I'm in
Yeah.
for Trippy Bear.
Yeah.
I'm in for Trippy Bear.
But I guess the cool thing about this show is it explains a little bit about what Ben was saying. It explains what will make a good cover up. And in my opinion, if you can tell it's a cover up, that's a fail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A good cover up, you would not even know that there was a tattoo there before. You know what I mean? Like maybe another artist might recognize it, or maybe another heavily tattooed person that really knows what they're looking at might recognize
you have to
it.
qualify that statement, because people that look at cover-ups all the time, they'll see the style of image that it is. They'll see that it's back in black. They'll see that it's a snake, a rose, or a koi. You know what I mean?
As artists, we can tell when like minor compromises have been made to solve the visual problem that needs solved.
Well, that's again why I have a only homies tattoo policy, because that way, when you do end up in a cover-up situation, you can like, hey, bro, let's pack that back in.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know, Todd, you've had some extensive cover-ups, so you have a lot to say. Like, how do you feel like the show is realistic so far and how they're approaching and like the little bits of advice that they're giving here and there?
But it's different when, because Megan did both my cover-ups, and besides the last one, which I knew it had to go in a cover-up anyway, so it wasn't like when I designed it or found the image and we went from there, that it would work for the cover-up. Megan handled all that. I mean, she had a couple ideas for the first one and she chose the card, so it was up to her to decide.
That's you got to have that flexibility and freedom with knowing your artist to give them that kind of leeway. That's faith in a collector, in an artist, and that's hard to explain to somebody that's never had that style of relationship, because they've strictly followed somebody on Instagram and then went into their shop. They don't have that person to person connection.
I get ideas when I'm actually hanging out with people. Like when we're just sitting down having smoke breaks, even if my clients don't smoke, I always encourage them to come out and like hang out with me while I do, because I'm just sitting there and I'm smoking and I'm daydreaming and I'm like looking at their arm or their, you know, whatever body part I'm working on, and I'm looking at how it flows with the rest of their body. Like
there's a lot of trust there.
Yeah. But like I get to know my clients so well where it's like, you know what we could do for that tattoo that like you haven't even mentioned? Like it'd be cool if we did this. And like it's amazing. Sometimes my clients didn't even know they had options like that.
Right.
Like, oh, you can take a tattoo like that and like freshen it up. Like it doesn't have to be, you can make it what I wanted.
Right.
That's a pretty cool thing. There are a lot of tattoos that like they hit me up for a cover up and it's like, well, okay, what do you have? What did you want? And sometimes it's like, oh, I can see where they missed the mark. Like I can give you what you originally wanted. It's amazing when like that just excites somebody. Like, so all the compromises I made before, I don't have to make anymore.
Nice.
Yeah. Like
Well,
I got you. We'll turn it into what you wanted to begin with.
Your approach is a little different than walking into a street shop, though. So if you walk into a street shop and you're like, I need this done right now, today's the day, what cover-ups work?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the 5 we do. Pick the appropriate size.
Right.
Well, I trust Megan. That's why.
Absolutely. That's my whole point.
I mean, I've worked with her for, a lot of hours. So, she said she could cover up the one. So I said, sure, cover it up. And, I gave her a couple ideas. She went with the one that she thought was work. And that's how we did it. I mean, I trust Megan. That's why. But the last one we did, the one that covered my Godzilla, I was sort of picky about what I wanted. So she didn't get the freedom that she normally got. Only that she'd tell me that it would work.
It would work, but
well, I'm not an artist, so I'm just making assumptions on that point. But
sometimes I literally just like look at my clients and like things just appear literally out of thin air. Like, oh, it'd be cool if you did that. Or like, oh, I saw this thing and this would be a cool way to transition this piece from this piece. Or like, this would be cool, but if it had this trick in it, like sometimes I mean, you've seen it when I'm sitting there and I'm just like spaced out and I'm not even trying to brainstorm about anything, but like these crazy ideas come to me. And like, sometimes they're like spot on. Other times they're so crazy, like, somebody's going to love that. Like,
do you know what would be real cool in your armpit?
All the time. All the time.
Oh,
I'm seeing this blank space, and what I could do, see here, is maybe just float this little in there, and just. Yeah, you do that a lot.
How about instead of the armpits, I'll just give you the whole like back thigh, butt cheeks.
just tell me when you're done tattooing. I'll stop paying your money. If you see holes that need filled, fun. Zap away.
Just zap away.
Just fill them.
Just fill them. Don't even tell me. Just go.
Jordan and I got to get some time scheduled soon. I've got a lot of different patterns and references that I've been saving that are in like different colored schemes and ready to like make it happen.
Played with.
We should make that an episode, or at least get some footage and include it on an episode.
Yeah, when we do that,
putting it to you.
Yeah, exactly. We set everything up. Get it from all the angles.
I'll run the camera.
You run the camera? Perfect.
That's pretty much my offer for anytime people say we're getting together and doing the thing. Look, I'll run the camera.
Nice.
I like that. I'll remember that.
I'll stand in the corner.
The nice thing is we could put one of these headsets on the camera and you could talk and be super crisp. And now that we've got the wireless,
you just turned it into now I have to entertain.
Oh, you don't have to. You can just be the cameraman, but you're so good at entertaining. Even when you don't plan on entertaining, you somehow get involved and start turning into the entertainer. It's just,
I get excited. I can't stop.
It's okay. It's fantastic.
We love it.
Has a lot to do with my coffee weed balance. I've explained this to a couple of people and a lot of people don't get it. It's my day is slowing myself down enough to where I can receive information, i.e. smoking a shit ton of weed, and having enough caffeine in my body to ride out the amount of THC it takes.
That's fair.
And it's
That's fair.
hard. Like my liver like fucking hates me. Like Red Bull should sponsor my life. Like because I keep them fuckers in business.
I mean,
I
now
hear
that
that.
I'm mostly
I
on
heard
coffee
that.
throughout the day, I'm drinking much less pop. I feel like my liver and kidneys are a lot happier. I mean, coffee's not great, but it's not near as bad as Mountain Dew and Red
Coffee
Bull.
counts as a clear liquid if you're in the hospital. Therefore, you can drink it all time. Anytime.
You know,
It's
I've
a
been
zero
told there's
calorie
also
intake.
protein. There's a little bit of protein in the coffee, like a
Make it with well water. You get a lot of protein. But like coffee is one of those things, like even on a 0 calorie intake diet. So like if you're doing like fasting, you're still allowed to have coffee. And that really fucked me up. So I was like, now I want coffee
all the time.
all
Right.
the time.
Mhm.
It used to be I could have
Help
a cup
make
in
me
the
not
morning,
hungry too and stuff.
But then I drink black coffee and my stomach is a giant knot. And I'm like, so life's about balance, I guess.
Fair.
Yeah, this is honestly like first morning I've had coffee in a while. I've been on the Red Bull kick too, kind of right off the bat.
Red Bull starts about 11:30ish.
Same.
I feel like my
Same.
whole day's a little off if I don't have at least a cup or two of coffee. Like usually I've already had a pot of coffee before I get to work. Sometimes I stop at the Bucks on the way. And then I start a pot when I get there. So
Yeah, I always.
I
start with
usually
a
feel
giant
that
cup.
way.
I-
My
Always start with a
stomach's
giant
just been
cup.
funny.
It's
Yeah.
the continuation of how I have to do that.
Yeah.
You know, like caffeine.
to be fair, I don't
Yeah.
make my coffee super strong. I make it pretty drinkable for me. It's medium.
I got a habit of
It's
making it
like
pretty strong.
And then I put a ton of cream in it. So I feel like I've been drinking so much coffee. I've been skipping meals lately.
Yeah, that's the other thing
There were
too.
a couple days last week. It was like 10 o'clock and I was like, I haven't even eaten today. I didn't even get a sandwich.
Well, you put whole cream in your coffee, so you're drinking a meal. So yeah,
I'm okay with that.
if I drink like 3 cups of black coffee, my stomach is like, "Hey,
Sometimes
bro,
it's like a delicious grown-up smoothie.
Right.
You
I
know
can only
what
do
you're
like
gonna
1 or
do.
2 lately.
you're gonna get wrecked."
Or like, that's when I stop because I can only do like 1 or 2.
right.
I happen to be
But
fortunate.
I still
to
love
where
I love
can-
coffee and I've always had a coffee addiction. So it's
Yeah.
like so nice to have some coffee, but I've had 1 cup today and my stomach's just been kind of wrenching over it.
Yeah, I'm
These are
fortunate that I can.
fucking. You guys are little league for coffee, man. I drink 2 pots a day.
I mean, I
You
feel
kidding
that.
me?
I
I
feel
think I
that
drank 3 yesterday. 2 at home, 1 at the shop.
I've had to my stomach's just been getting worse. I mean, I swear a pot of coffee a morning like was what it used to be. I get through all of it. Wake up 8 o'clock in the morning by
How are you eating?
the time
throughout
I
the
get to
day?
work at 2 o'clock,
Panda
you know,
Express.
I've had a whole
That's
thing.
how Jordan eats.
Yeah.
Panda Express.
Panda Express waiting for me when I get to the studio.
I love
What if
this.
you switched to like fresh Chinese food that wasn't quite so greasy and heavy on your stomach?
Processed.
Then life
Probably, but I mean,
would not
I eat-
be worth living.
I eat really good when I'm at I eat really good when I'm at home most of the time. It's just when I'm at work.
Fair. I guess the point that I'm making is we've got a lot of really healthy options. If we're spending the money on Uber Eats to have them drive it and then tip, we might as well eat something healthy.
Look at
Take
Jordan's
care of your
face. He is
body.
like, fuck
Take care of your body.
that. He wants nothing to do with that.
He's like,
sentence.
I
Tell me
want,
what
I
to
want,
do.
I
No.
want greasy noodles with
I
onions and cabbage
eat
into
my
my face hole.
Yeah, I don't know. I love me some Panda Express.
Yeah.
How do you eat?
I feel like
healthy
I just feel
Mexican?
like all Chinese food, it really doesn't matter like how like the orange chicken from like a nice place and the orange chicken from there, like there's a difference, but there's also like the difference isn't that big. It's both deep fried, you know, fried
Jordan,
up.
have you had food from
Not
Basil?
very good for you. Good for you.
Have you had Basil yet? It's
No.
very good. Like it'd be like American fusion Chinese, right?
Bro,
But they make everything in house. It's so fresh, so light. It's like
I'm gonna take
even
you
if
to
you
Chai
don't
Tai.
order sushi, it's light, like having sushi.
I'm gonna
It's-
take you to Chai Tai.
I feel it. I'm down.
Not because I'm gonna try to turn you off of Panda Express. I'm just saying, now that I know that.
Hey,
you-
I'm
you
not
love
sold
that
on
shit.
Panda Express.
No,
It's
no, no.
just
I'm just saying now that I know that's you. I'm gonna take you to Chai Tai.
fair.
What's the
Thank
place
you.
that you're talking about?
Chai Tai?
Yeah.
Oh, like the Chinese food restaurant in Ohio to eat
Yeah,
at?
I'm not hip.
Oh, it's so good. It's Hamilton Road, like near Sunbury, where Hamilton Road like dead ends. It's next to the Thirsty Turtle Bar.
Okay, I know
Okay.
exactly where that is.
Okay, it's fucking delicious.
Okay.
I may have done tattoo parties there in the past.
Hmm.
Actually, they were biker parties that I tattooed at. taste.
Same good, right?
But yeah.
It's delicious,
Okay.
bro. It'll change your life. They put scrimpies in their wonton soup. Little baby scrimpies. Little baby shrimp
Nice.
in your soup.
I like shrimp. I love that.
In soup, bro. This is just like, hey, this could have been a really shitty soup, but here's scrimpies. It's the best thing ever.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Ben, for those of us listening that may or may not know your special language, what are scrimpies?
Shrimps.
Bubba gumps.
Bubba gums.
Little cramps.
Scrimpies.
Scrimpies.
Little bubble cramp.
But Todd lightly interjected earlier that Mexican is his healthy alternative. Elaborate, my friend, because I agree.
I said it's not. It's fucking healthy. I mean, come on. How can you eat healthy Mexican? I mean, seriously, 90% of that diet is fucking meat.
See,
No,
now
I'm a sucker
that's
for
where you and I.
street tacos,
See, I get
but
a
that's meat.
chorizo shrimp fajita. It's not wretched. Now I understand if you're eating like 16 plates of barbacoa, how your life is gonna be altered.
Chorizo's not. Chorizo's.
Chorizo is grease. I am with you,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah,
not
I
the
mean,
main
it's
ingredient.
pork.
It's a seasoning. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe, but I mean, for a Mexican, when we're eating it for breakfast burritos, yeah, it's the main ingredient.
Okay, fair bet. I didn't take that into play. My fault. I didn't realize we were eating a quarter pound of chorizo for breakfast.
Let,
You are. I mean,
I
let me
know.
ask you this. Is there a way that we could come up with a chorizo gravy with biscuits? Can we experiment and make that happen? Do like a Southwest biscuit gravy. Delicious.
You act like I haven't done it.
Well,
The trick
I
is
haven't done
the trick
it.
is to just make a white gravy and then add the chorizo, so you're not using all that extra fat. So if you make the
Yeah.
chorizo, make your white gravy, and then combine them, then let that simmer. It'll pull all the extra fat, and then you get a drier chorizo inside, so it's not this wet soupy.
okay, so you wouldn't get that film on top.
Correctamundo.
Nice.
So yeah,
Nice.
I'm fucking down.
Now,
We can do
what
that
about
in the league.
this? What if you did a little bit of chorizo, a little bit of ground turkey?
You threw me off. Don't put
No,
fucking trash
you don't
foul
get
in my
into that?
breakfast.
Well, I was
Trash
just
foul.
thinking to like cut the
Thick it up.
spiciness and flavor of the chorizo so it wasn't so overpowering. Because I really like
Just re-
chicken cooked in
Just-
chorizo. Okay.
You said turkey, and you threw me way off.
I don't know. I'm just
You don't need a lot. Chorizo is so seasoned and so rich that you don't need a lot of meat in it to make it
right.
like flavorful. So
Right.
Todd's hungry. Look at him. He's like, motherfuckers talking about gravy and chorizo.
Yeah.
No, I was just thinking
Potatoes.
about what I could make.
He's gonna come back with exactly what we were talking about.
I mean, if you want to go healthy, I guess you could do chicken and that. I mean, Mexicans, you do eat a lot of chicken, but a good carne asada is hard to turn down.
I'm not arguing with you at all. I love it. I love it. And you know what the problem with Mexican food is they will serve you a scoop of sour cream.
Oh yeah, it's
And
always too much.
It is an ice cream 4 fucking ounce scoop of sour cream. And if you give me a baseball sized clump of sour cream, I will
eat it.
I will eat every single bite of it, and I will look you dead in the eye and feel no remorse about it.
Licking out the bottom of the bowl. Eye contact.
As I'm pouring cheese sauce on everything. So yes, I get both sides of that coin there, Todd.
Hmm.
You guys want to go get some Mexican food?
Right.
So we're doing Mexican for lunch. So in the tattoo world this week,
Sorry, rambling food stoners.
it's okay.
What's new in the tattoo world?
Talk about Phil.
Yeah, we should definitely talk about Phil's situation. We should have talked about this a little bit more last week, but with Tony being our guest and his situation hitting so close to home, it was a little emotional. But I've been following the GoFundMe. As of a couple of days ago, he was almost at the GoFundMe goal.
It's just like 600 short of it now.
Nice. So Phil Garcia's 9-year-old daughter had a stroke on her spine, and she's looking at quadriplegia for the rest of her life. Crazy things happen with the brain and spinal cord. Like she may recover. It doesn't seem like it's promising, but like crazy things happen.
No.
But I feel like everybody in the community's been kind of touched by this one.
It's always tough when it's young, when someone young.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine.
I can relate to it because I was in a car accident 32 years ago. So I mean, 27 years ago, I guess. So I know how your life changes in an instant. So I know what poor Phil's going through right now. And it's not, no parent should have to go through that.
No, I couldn't imagine.
It's just not something that anyone wants to go through. Let me be honest. It's not. You wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy because it's your child there and they're helpless.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's hard to take.
I can't even
So I
imagine going through that.
Well, and then so if it ends up being what the diagnosis is, he's looking at a whole list of things that have to be done to even bring her home. The house has to be modified. They have to build a walk-in shower. Entryways have to be made bigger to accommodate the wheelchair. Ramps have to be made. I can go on and on.
Yeah.
Plus the medical equipment that will be brought in.
Do you have the specific information for the funding?
There was a GoFundMe link. I'll sure Fawn will put it up.
We'll make sure that happens.
Yeah. So he's looking at a lot
heavy.
Well, it is, and then the lifetime of. I mean, she should gain. I don't know. She's a quadriplegic, so I don't know how independent she could become being a quadriplegic. If she was, it's hard.
Their entire life is going to revolve around this.
Well, and if she has to have a vent 24/7, that changes things too. I mean, there's so much what ifs that can happen in the meantime. I mean, hopefully it's just a bruised spine that can recover. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the doctor. I don't know what Phil's been told. So, I mean, the way he wrote it out, the diagnosis is that that's probably what's going to happen to her. And when they say that, that's generally what happens. Yes, miracles do happen, but they're rare.
The important thing that you're saying that I'm hearing is that support doesn't stop right now. It's the beginning of it. And this needs to be something that needs to be continued. And that as a community, if it's an opportunity for us to set up a way to continue help and maybe spread awareness and or continue to have fundraisers, physical things that we can do to continue support. It's the beginning. It's the very, very beginning.
Oh yeah. I mean, a wheelchair alone that she will need to be equipped with a vent in that. I mean, she's looking at a $30,000 freaking at minimum.
Medical equipment is insanely expensive.
Oh my God, is it? It's unreal.
It's one of those things. I almost look at it as that's kicking people when they're down. With where technology is now and where we are as far as manufacturing and costs and things along those lines, there's absolutely no reason for a $30,000 wheelchair's expense to be put on a individual that is saving their child's life. Like, there's no choices here. They're absolutely pinned in getting to this equipment. They're absolutely pinned into making sure that their house is equipped and ready for this. And I feel like as a society, we've taken a huge turn in thinking that it's acceptable to take advantage of people that are at their lowest points and look at them dead in the face and being like, I hope you're rich. I don't get it. It kills my soul, bro.
Wait. I get that. Okay. But again, I've been around this for, almost 30 years now. So I know the people that make this equipment too.
Absolutely.
And so you're making an assumption that they make a shit ton of money. They don't.
No, sir. I'm assuming that there's a lot of markup in the middle.
There's not. Yeah, I'll give you that. There's some medical supplies there are, and some of it are not.
I'm a salesman. Okay, I'm saying that as someone that makes
their money. I get that, but a lot of this equipment is made directly with, like I'm lucky at my resources are University of Michigan Hospital.
Nice.
So I've got one of the best hospitals in the world to go for my son. So these people are highly trained individuals that make equipment for my son. Like he gets these AFOs that are put on his feet and lower legs to keep him from, he has spasticity. So you got to keep him, they keep his legs straight from without curving in and all this other shit.
Right.
I won't go in. Okay. But you know, those are not cheap to make. I mean, they cost money. That's a skill that most people don't have.
Absolutely. And I meant zero disrespect to the people that
and none
of
them are rich.
Right.
I mean, they make a decent living, and that's okay because of the amount of work they put in it, and they put in friggin' work.
And
they work hard.
As much money as we invest into other things is kind of where I'm at with that. We could make it to where these people were able to do this stuff without, you know what I mean? Like there's, I don't know. I feel like we're putting the money in the wrong spot, I guess was my point. I'm at absolutely zero.
There is. I can tell you where the waste goes. I mean, it's like the medical supplies. That's where they get they soak you for all the money.
Right.
Like, my son's tube fed. He needs catheters for suctioning for his trach, that type of stuff. That shit is highly expensive. That is way marked up more than it should be.
Right. Bag of salines that cost $30 here and cost $2 in Europe. Mm-hmm. That was kind of more my comparison.
Yes, that's where all the grifting and grafting is coming from. That type of shit. A lot of the medical equipment, though, specialized medical equipment, those people have my respect.
I can absolutely respect. Like I feel that from you right now. Like I'm not trying to be weird. Like I absolutely meant zero disrespect because I can tell that you wholeheartedly mean what you're saying right now. And I did not mean it as these people don't deserve what they get and make. I just feel like we should be focusing a little bit more on making people's lives easier than
just the financial
charging.
Absolutely. I agree
That's
with you 100%. I mean, in Michigan, when my son's accident happened, because it was a car accident, it was covered under under car insurance, and we have a system called No Fault, and he's covered for life for all medical expenses.
That is super fortunate, man.
No cap. And that was the only one in the nation that had it. So, you know, I'm very fortunate in the fact that most of this shit's covered.
I couldn't imagine.
So I'm looking at Phil's GoFundMe page. It's at 179,700 out of 180,000. So it's about 300 shy now of the goal. So it's a cool thing about the community, the way everybody comes together.
That's crazy.
List the specific GoFundMe's just in case people are listening.
$179,000.
I don't know enough about GoFundMe. If you go to Phil's, if you go to Phil Garcia's Instagram page, there's a link right in his bio. It's the only link that's there, and it'll take you right to it.
Super rad.
But yeah, 6 days, the goal has almost been met already.
Good.
There's a lot of artists that chipped into this and gave high donations. Mm-hmm. Nico is one of them. Carlos Rojas. I mean, to name just a couple, but there's others. They gave 5,000. So, you know, kudos to those guys.
It's awesome to see that kind of connection in the community. Not a lot of communities are like that.
No. I guess we're very fortunate that our community cares about each other and that we give so much. Mm-hmm. It's a unique thing.
Very, very unique thing.
But poor Phil, though, he's going to have his life has been altered for life, and his wives, and I know what kind of stresses he's going to go under, and I hope he's strong enough.
Just it's important to keep focused on making sure he's got support. That's all you can do when you see somebody struggling. You can't ask, you can't imply. You just got to be there and back them up.
It's wild like how beautiful of a community he's got to support him with all this. I know he's going to have his own struggles, but everyone seems to pull through for it, is pulling through. So it's got to be a good feeling right off the bat.
Specialized experience there, Todd. Reach out to him, man.
I have.
Good. And it takes somebody with insight to be able to support like that. So I'm sure he's super, super appreciative of it.
He'll get back with me. He hasn't got back with me yet. I mean, he did one that he would get. I left a message on one of his posts and then sent him a message privately in that. I know he's seen it in that, but I just gave him early advice because he's going to need a lot more than what's coming.
Right.
Getting home from a hospital is not easy because so many things have to be accommodated before you bring him home. So yeah, he's got a long road ahead of him.
You want to pull up our
Can I say one thing too, real quick?
Yeah.
I really liked and appreciated about Phil. I can't remember, Todd, you might know the answer, if it was a year or two ago, where he basically made the commitment to change his life, to be there for his family. And I'm just really happy that decision was made, because it was that time you can never get back. He hustled and pushed himself so hard, really became a pillar in the tattoo community. And to make that decision probably wasn't easy at all. But now I'm sure that he's very, very happy that he did.
Yeah, I mean, he did change his life around quite a bit. I mean, he's that long distance running now, he's been really into that for the past few years. And, personal goals he has set, Phil really did change a lot. And I just feel, I mean, I don't want to say that I pity him, because I don't. I feel very sorry for what he has to go through. No one wants pity, and I won't give it, but I truly understand what he's going through, and it breaks my heart.
Absolutely. Especially with your unique perspective, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy to go through. It's not.
No, sir.
I mean,
no, sir.
George's got a picture up of the GoFundMe page now, if you're paying any attention. But we just went to Phil's page on Instagram, and there's a link right at the top in his profile, and then it'll take you right to this.
I
Okay. We're emotional.
gotta take that off because
we all just were like,
We're emotional.
Well, let's take a moment to go through who Phil Garcia is as well, if you don't know who he is already.
amazing tattooer.
Absolutely amazing tattooer.
His roses are incomparable.
That's Carson Hill.
Yeah, that was only just recently. I remember when he was getting that.
Oh, I love this bodysuit.
Amazing.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Look at all of that.
That's saturation. That's just.
It's what the back of your legs is going to be like.
I'm excited.
Wait, before you take that picture down, how hard would it be to tattoo around that colostomy bag?
I didn't even notice that was what it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Are those permanent?
Is this the one that's a slideshow? Go to the previous photos, because she's got some heavy scarring that he worked around and incorporated into. Back to the cover-up topic, he did a fantastic job working with the scars and stuff that she had.
Wow.
Yeah. You'd never know.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere to be found.
Wow. I see stuff like this, and just the commitment involved blows.
Right underneath that butterfly, there was a real deep scar, and he camouflaged it by just making it where that waterfall hit the ground, or where the waterfall.
It's a beautiful piece.
It's amazing.
It really is.
All those rich purples in the sky.
Everything is so well.
Look at that armpit.
That green in that woman's there.
Yeah.
The waterfall.
That whip from black out, like that's what I like.
Yeah, I really love what he did with that water. That looks so
Mhm.
nice and elegant, very smooth.
That little mist right up here.
Everything is super clean.
Mm-hmm.
That sunset's amazing too.
Yeah, and for such a smaller detail, it's such a clear and vivid image.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's its own little world right there. Like I'm a fan.
Lost in it.
Yeah, I think Phil's kind of like the standard for roses and floral tattoos. Like the way that he tattoos is, I think, what a lot of tattooers aspire to, you know. Oh, look at that shark with the shipwreck.
I'm a shark.
I tell you what, underwater tattoos are so much fun. It's so much fun.
A lot of different light play.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen some of the stuff from Dino Cook recently?
Oh,
and some of his
absolutely.
photography? Oh, it's killer.
I look at his photography and I just want to be like, Dino, can you just start sending me some of your raw photos so I can play with them? Because they're way better than anything else I can find online.
Exactly.
Have you seen the type of cameras they use and the equipment and how big that rig is?
Oh, that rig is
Yeah.
huge. That rig is
Mind-blowing.
bigger than some cars that I've had.
Fun. To be fair, you've had cars that would fit inside my car.
I
That's
thought about
wicked.
putting like straps on the back of my Spark car to see if I could wear it around as a
That's
backpack.
nuts. You want to talk about body form fitting?
Hmm. I love how he
That's
like
amazing.
stylized those like color sweeps one into the next.
Right.
It's like a very,
Mm-hmm.
it's like he liquefied it and pulled one into another instead of like a graceful, smooth transition. It melts.
Yeah,
Took a lot of thought and foresight to make that happen.
absolutely. I love that. Definitely
And the way
just
like this
liquefies.
tree is reflecting through the water here.
Uh-huh.
See how that shadow is coming through the water, and then that is even being like melted down into this rose below it. Like it really took a lot of thoughtful little things to make that happen.
It's so much fun.
And that photo's a year old.
That looks like so much fun. I would love to noodle around in a big color piece like that.
Whoa, what's he having in that bowl?
So this is it looks delicious. Back to food. Back to Mexican food. I saw a tortilla.
Yeah, tiger. Oh, I am.
There. Oh, that's good.
Bam.
That's good.
Bam.
You want to jump back to our inbox? I got some stuff that Todd and I have been
Absolutely.
talking about all
Let's
week.
slide into those DMs.
Boom. We talked about the tattoo redo show already.
Oh yeah.
So Todd sent me this and he was like, would you ever? And I was like, I'm not saying that I wouldn't.
Set the belly button.
No, it's just a random spot.
That's the round spot. Drop the ink there and tattooed away.
No, just dump the ink.
Yep.
Just tattoo out of the puddle.
Ooh.
I really think it's just a stunt that he's doing for the video, though.
Yeah,
You
it
wouldn't
doesn't-
want to
doesn't seem-
deglove every time you grabbed a bottle. It just wouldn't.
Yeah, you go through a lot of ink too. You're wasting a lot of ink.
But
Yeah.
it goes to show you can tattoo from a puddle of ink on the skin.
Yeah, I mean, I only imagine that it's not going to make things worse.
I'm
You just
pretty-
can't see.
I'm pretty trustworthy.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, man. You can't see it.
If you did that to me, I might look at you a little cross.
Well, I mean, he's doing the very last like middle tone of the hand. So that's going to just blend into all the
I'm
colors
just gonna-
around
I'm
it.
just
So,
gonna throw that out there.
you know what I mean? It's like,
Hmm.
it's all going to blend together in that space.
His back probably hurts. He's
Yeah,
sick.
but I
He's sick of turning
definitely-
and dipping.
I definitely don't think this whole tattoo was
You know what
done
he
like
needs
that.
is a true tube armrest extension.
Right. I've come to terms where I need one that just like, you know how they got the camera mounts that come right off you. I
Right.
need a
Yep.
true tube tray that comes right off of my chest that I can
Just
just put
rests
everything right
there.
there. Yeah, because now even like the
A gyroscopic.
30-degree movement's too much
gyroscopic,
for me now. I've
chest
adapted.
plate.
So when I was doing
Exactly.
tattoo removal, one of the pieces of equipment was a pump that ran through chemical through a line, a
Mhm.
solution through a line. I should call it chemical. Ran a solution through a line that I thought, what if we just hooked that up to a multi-lined, multi-pump? What's your color spectrum? You load your hopper, you make it like a printer, and all you got to do is switch the line into your machine
It'd get so gross.
and then wash out.
You can't
I just thought it
guarantee
was
no
cool.
backflow.
I can too.
I mean,
You don't know me, Fawn.
that's
You don't know
true.
my
That's true.
engineering
I don't know your
capabilities.
wizardry, but
I met a guy who
wouldn't
came up
trust
with a
it.
whole airbrush system like that. So it was like a tube system that fed into airbrushes, and like you could fill up a whole bunch of jars of every color paint.
uh-huh.
And he created a tube system that would, and even like a cleaning system with it, so it would clean it in between.
How did you like use
And
split
stuff.
switches to switch or something like
I
that?
don't remember how the whole system worked. I didn't use it, but it was my old neighbor when I lived in Michigan. And he's just like this 50-year-old dude who just like, yeah, I came up with this invention a little while ago. And this guy stole it and then, stole it from me and took legal rights over it. And I can't do anything with it. But he's like, showed me the whole like thing and told me how it works. Cause he's seen me, I was airbrushing out in my garage every day.
Right.
And he's like, oh, let me show you this cool thing I made.
Hey there,
I was like, damn.
Junior. Let me show you how bad your setup is.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. But I thought it was so cool. But I imagine the tattooing thing, that idea would be kind of like that. Of course, you wouldn't be so feasible probably, but wouldn't that be nice?
It's just one of those
Switch between colors like nothing. Just click a dial and you're going to the next color.
Just set a pattern and it auto mixes your blend into a one tube. So I used to work in
I hope
custom
we start
printing. So
tattooing
like,
with lasers.
I don't know. I don't trust it.
Lasers?
No.
oh, I mean, so
No lasers.
no lasers. I don't trust lasers. But like,
Give it
think
50
of it
years,
as like
maybe.
more of like a printer head ran to a machine. Like you got a CMKY blend that makes every hue that you can think of.
Nope. I don't trust it.
One day there will
I don't
probably be
trust it because our tattoo
there'll be a
our
3D printer
tattoo
one day
inks aren't
that's going to
made
be
like
able
that.
to do this.
Our tattoo inks are actually like different mineral composition, so it's not like just mixing.
So you're
pigment.
saying I'm gonna have to start at the base level.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start at the base level.
It's fine.
Someone will overcome and adapt though.
No, I'm just gonna
And
say
create
it
a
enough on
technology
here,
that'll
someone
do
will
it.
steal it and do it, right?
I really do think there will be a machine that'll be able to do it one day. We'll be able to do our jobs. It'll be a while.
I'd get a robot tattoo.
I would too. If they became a thing, I would be one of the first people to buy
no
one.
way.
One of the first people to buy it. I wouldn't like always use it. I just want it. I just
Todd's
think that would
hard
be
out.
awesome.
I'm with Todd on this one.
I don't want it to be a thing.
And I'm
Like,
a
'cause
tech guy that loves everything high tech. But no, not that one.
I just know you just know it's gonna happen one day.
Speaking of high tech, you want to go to it the next?
You know, there's someone out there right now that's thinking about this every day. What do you want?
Go
to
to
go
the
to?
next. I've got it's an artist. I've followed this guy forever, but Todd sent me a post
Oh
from him.
yes, I love this kind of mech.
Mikhail Smirnov.
Yeah, I figured you would.
Fuck yeah, such
The
huge flow.
Russians.
Like so much skin tone. I
Go
love
ahead,
that.
Go ahead and go to his page. He's got such beautiful biomech. He's got like toothy, slimy, evil looking stuff, and then he's got this believable, simple robo mech.
One back. See this piece though for a minute. I love this purple, like that black back there with just this glowing purple, like magenta. I just love the amount of skin tone.
Yeah, he's got
used.
huge swaths. Like the
Like,
open skin is
he
just as important
probably-
as the tattooed skin.
It's like a 3-day sleep, probably. Maybe. I
Wanna
don't want
see
to
that
judge. I don't
heel.
want to judge his work on how he works. I have no idea. But like, I just feel like if you're using big fat mags on this like gray wash on here, you could get that stuff done fairly quickly. It'd just be packing all this black and things. But what do you think, Fawn?
I bet I could get a sleeve like this done in a day.
Yeah. See, that's almost what I think. I just didn't want to like undercut the time it might take.
But I mean, I got like half a sleeve done yesterday in a session, and it was pretty crazy. It was like a
Nice.
photorealistic bear and an alien abduction scene. Fantastic.
Nice.
And then everything was filled in with Forrest.
God, that's awesome.
I want to see
I
all
love
that
this
gray
piece so
wash
much.
shield though.
This,
I think it's going to be
Yeah.
very soft and beautiful, but I think it's going to juxtapose very nicely with the dark, rich, saturated. Like I like how soft.
I think those
this is gonna
magenta
feel.
purples too against the skin tone just
Yeah,
looks
'cause-
so nice
'cause
too
where it's
already
like
because it's already
I love
red and
that,
complementary.
fresh. It's actually going to be a cool, soft gray. You know what I mean? Like all of those where it's still a little red and bruisey from like a day of tattooing. When that heals out, that's going to be soft.
Wow, it's
and
on a
cool
girl,
gray.
no less.
Yeah, look how
Oh, yeah.
natural that looks too. It just forms right into it.
Yeah.
Sometimes this is the perfect example of less is more.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Nice. That's cool.
I just
He's
like the way
super versatile.
I just like the way that photo's taken. Like, all right, I see you.
Yeah, this is the one that Todd sent me.
That's super cool. I love that.
This is
Like
another
teeth
really good
there.
example.
Yeah.
Like,
Tooth zipper.
this is another good
Mhm.
example of the real successful combination of color and black and gray. There's a handful of artists that just nail it, and it's not as easy as you would think to combine the two and be
It's really-
respectful to both
it's really
color,
not.
full saturated color, and nice open black and gray where the skin still breathes. And
That foot.
Yep, I'm always trying to find that line too. Trying to do more color work as well with my black and gray.
Freehand, he says.
So I love seeing that.
oh, look at them toes.
So I got a question. I got a technical question. If we're doing freehand, does that mean no Sharpie?
No, Sharpie is freehand.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you can draw it on, and that's considered freehand.
Yeah.
Not
That's what
if
it
you
is.
Just like no stencil, no nothing, dip and rip. You know what I mean? Like
No.
here's blank
That's
skin.
a no stencil dip and rip. Is what that is.
So in my brain, all these years, when you say freehand, I think you went blank skin, machine, pigment,
No,
go.
no, like Derb is a freehand
No,
artist.
that's called raw dogging.
I'm a freehand artist. Marty's a freehand artist.
So any time that it can be drawn on is considered freehand.
Yeah, if
See?
I just took you and I took a marker, a pen, and I just
Been around for 20 years and never knew this difference.
yep.
Huh. It's just one of those things. It's like, when do you have an opening to ask that question? Like what?
Hey, that's
fair.
what we're here for. This is
Boom.
the opening.
Boom.
This is the
And
spot.
welcome to the Tattoo Collecting Podcast.
If you happen to have any questions that you've been looking for the right time to ask, this is it. Every Thursday,
Dumb questions. with
ask
that.
away.
Was just one of those.
Not a dumb question though. I mean, if you didn't know, I mean, freehand could definitely mean that. And there's some people that do work like that, and that shit's wild.
Yeah, I actually follow a guy on Instagram. His name's Ian Mullen, and that's exactly what he does. He's like, "You've got a blank space. Let me draw some cool shit right there." It's super dark. It's
What's his name?
Ian Mullins,
Can
I
you pull
think.
it up?
All of his work is very, very dark based, not like theme wise. I'm talking
Quickly
ink
go.
colors.
We gotta see more.
And it's all dip and rip. I love it.
Mulligan.
I might have it wrong because I follow people really.
Ian Mullen 25. I don't know.
I don't know. I'll
Is
pull
that
it up.
him?
Regardless, he's fun to
pull up
watch
Arando.
because it's
That's
yeah.
not him.
Don't pull up.
Oh, it's the second one. You missed it.
Was it?
It was the second one, I'm pretty sure.
I don't even know where Instagram is on my phone. Look at me,
But
super
You,
techie.
yeah. They're kind of
No,
no.
It's okay.
it's okay. We'll figure it out. But
We-
anyway,
we still
that's
got more
what he
in the
does.
inbox. Todd
And-
sent me some work that was his wife's leg this morning. Was that this morning that you sent that or yesterday?
Yep. This morning.
Would your wife come and talk to us one of these days?
Maybe, I doubt it.
We should try and work that out. I'd love to at least have her make an appearance. She's got an incredible collection between her back that I've seen and this leg piece that you sent me.
Sure. That's his.
Oh. Ian.
Yeah, I said I didn't think I was right. I'm sorry.
It's a strange way to spell it.
I might just be saying it wrong. I might just be that guy.
Okay. Yeah, he's
Okay, so
just
some
like,
of his stuff
he's
does have like a
gap filler
directional line.
extraordinaire.
But if you scroll down, he's got a bunch of
forwarded
videos.
that font.
Do what?
I don't think you forwarded that post that I sent you to the.
To the tattoo collecting?
What are we
Yeah, I
looking for,
don't
Ben?
think you did.
Oh, just his stuff in general.
Yeah, he's got a lot of
Witz-
videos of himself
Witz-
just
Witzik? Is that how
ripping
you
it
say
in.
his name?
I think so.
Yeah, it's
Wanna
just a
see
few.
him
It's
dip
just a
and
few
rip.
messages up. It's in there.
Show me the ripping and the dipping.
A lot of those are just started off of one line. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just love his. I love his commitment.
So he really does just go at it.
Yeah,
So like
like-
one line, that one's a little drawn there.
Go down to
for
the one in the
cover up,
middle
but
there.
what one?
One more, right there.
This one?
Yep, like one in the middle.
Oh,
So he just does the whole tattoo.
All right, I'm
off
impressed.
Of, off of the center line.
I'm very.
That's a whole
That
different.
he just kind of goes, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And that's what I mean. Like, is that the definition of freehand? No, you guys are saying if he would have drawn that on even with a Sharpie.
Yeah,
good to
that's
go.
a whole different freehand.
So that to me blows my mind.
Yeah, that blows everybody's mind.
Yeah,
That's why-
no, I can't. I wouldn't. I couldn't.
It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. And I love his style too. I love his color choices. I love his saturation. I love his bold blacks. Like,
You need to have him do a rose for you somewhere.
I've got a belly full of rose spots.
Be like, put weird leaves and roses wherever they'll fit.
But yeah, I'm not even sure where this gentleman is located, to be honest with you. But I love watching his dip and rip stuff. Like, because that's a kneecap. He drew a line down his kneecap and was like, hold on, let me bust this for you.
Boy,
This
that
goes
takes some
back to
fucking
like
trust.
Yeah, but
trusting the artist.
trust your artist. Research.
Seriously, take some trust, man.
Yeah. I
You
just
can't erase that.
nope. that is in
That's what, you
there.
can't erase that.
That is in there. That is black on black with black whip, touch of color.
I love his
Impressive.
color choices though.
Yeah, I do too.
He's very, very traditional, but on the pieces that are a little more like, I'm going to call them avant-garde, his color choices are outstanding.
He be whipping it.
Ooh, that Polynesian looks really nice.
I wonder if you just freehanded that.
Probably.
I'm good on that, actually.
Do you want to put it out for me?
I got you.
That'd be swell.
My hand was caught.
Super smooth, super crisp. I like this guy.
Yep. Super black, super bold.
You can go ahead and click me as fanboy.
I think.
Good call, Ben. This
Sorry,
guy's
guys.
awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like I remembered you
Yeah.
showing me to him,
I dig him.
showing him to me.
We'll go back up to his little bio thingy there. I
Several
want to see
months
where he's
ago.
from.
Skin Ninja.
Skin Ninja. It doesn't
Sanctum
have
Tattoo.
like a. Oh, see, my name's. It says I follow him. Look at me on that list. Oh, we're close enough on Insta, bud. That's so cool. Yeah, man. Look at that. He's just like, here's a cross that I'm going to draw with a Sharpie, and I'm going to bust some cool shit. Love it.
Very cool.
You guys got anybody else that like follows that mindset or anything else like that?
I can't think of any people in particular, but they pop up all the time. You know, people that started from nothing that'll have like some big crazy color abstract tattoos.
One of the very first like bold black abstract artists that I started following years ago before it was really as big as it is now is Yan Black. His stuff is crazy. He usually draws it on with a pen though and then jumps in.
Nice. I mean, Kevin Stress works that way.
This one right here.
He literally was like, okay, we're gonna draw on your whole leg.
I love them so much. Look
Yeah.
at these weird little
Oh,
characters and like just lines. What is it? Lines. What does it mean? Whatever you want.
It means
It's
art.
lines. I love his work so much.
Yeah, silky blackout.
Indeed.
It's it's the definition of minimalist tattoos. You know, it's super fun, chaotic images, but exquisitely executed.
Good choice of words, Fawn.
Thanks. Thanks.
Exquisitely
No, I've really looked up to this guy's work for a really long time, and I've seen some of it in person at shows, and it looks beautiful years and years later. Like, if I ever had a chance to get tattooed by this guy, I'd give him one of my remaining body panels.
Nice.
Maybe like an inner leg or something. I don't know. I don't have a lot left.
Palm tatties.
I really want Derb to do my palms. I'm just on the fence about One image. I want a crystal, but what kind of crystal?
On your palm?
Yeah, I want a little seedling on one side, like a little, like, you know, the simple seedling in Wally, like a little 2-leaf sprout, little simple seedling. And then like just a simple outline of a crystal. And then I want some lettering on my fingers on the inside. I'm gonna have to bust it in there. I just got to decide on what kind of crystal form I want.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I don't know.
That'll be cool.
Look at those hands. See, that's how it'll have to be. Go scroll down a little bit. Boom. It's going to have to be super bold and crazy like that. Just put it in there. Super simple, super thick lined.
Okay, somebody help me. My dyslexia is whipping me
It's
on.
probably not in English.
Oh, that makes so much more sense. It's like I tried to read that 4 times.
Yeah,
to
that's
figure it
not
out.
that's not our language, Ben. That's another state.
That threw my brain for a loop. That looks like
glitching,
English.
right.
It's like I could read this morning. I know I could read this morning. What kind of weed is this? Yes, he's one of my first.
It's called
favorite
Rosetta
chaotic
Stone.
black work artists.
Stoned. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Silky, packed in black.
Like it's chaotic but controlled. Always. I love it all.
Sounds like my first pee in the morning.
Nice. Oh man, speaking of, I got a tinkle so bad. When you go back to the DMs, you can look at his work as long as you want. I love him. But when you go back to the DMs above Mikhail, the last guy we were looking at is a post with Todd's wife, her leg. Keep on cruising.
This one right here?
Yep.
Beautiful.
This is a pretty rad slideshow too. Many blessings, Jordan.
Quadruple blessings, sir.
Many blessings.
I'm going to give you an extra one.
Are you
5
still
times.
with
me.
us?
5 times.
Did you
over
travel?
my stuff.
Yeah, my soul took a
Did you
second.
travel
I saw
somewhere
that.
else?
Soul took
I
a second
had
to
to keep
come,
calling back.
come right back.
Solidly.
Oh.
Welcome.
Oh.
Welcome back.
And we're back.
And
I and I.
showtime. That's wicked.
I and I are one once
Scroll
again.
through these pictures. I was not hip to this artist until this morning. So I am literally just discovering him with you guys.
Wow.
And this is all your wife's leg, right?
Yeah. The only thing that he didn't do is the wizard on the left that you can barely see over there. John Wayne did that. The rest of it, he did it all. Now the clown that will come up after that is based on a Russian.
I love the gears in that one.
artist. Yeah, that was the first piece that Robert did on her.
Yeah, go back to that color image with the clown. Yeah. Take a second and take all of this in. There's really a lot of cool things going on in this body panel. I love the way all of the edges transition really nicely, but I love the way there's so much depth. You've got a layer of gears and mechanical, then it looks like, is it supposed to be like a pipe organ that the clown's sitting in front of or something like that?
No, I don't know exactly what it is. I wish I had the image that it was based on. I'll try to dig that up for next show. But
that's got a whole lot of little things in it. The face is up towards the left. Like there's a lot of cool stuff in that.
There
a lot
is
of cool stuff in that.
Mm-hmm.
So where is he
looks like
from?
Russ has entered the waiting room.
Oh, awesome.
So I'm going to go ahead and welcome him in. No. All right, sorry.
What's up, buddy?
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey.
What's up, guys?
Hey, hello.
Hi.
What up, Forrest? Hey, Russ.
Is he meeting you like a French girl?
Hey, Forrest.
That's it.
Thanks for
Yeah, we're
taking
just,
time to
getting
join
set
us,
up here.
guys.
Yeah,
no
thanks a
problem.
lot.
Yeah, this should be fun.
Man, that chess piece is looking awesome.
Oh,
It is.
Are we
Russ,
live?
you're looking so skinny.
Yeah, I was going
I
to
am,
say that you
yeah.
lost a lot of
Yeah,
weight.
you're looking really good, Russ.
Looking good.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I think I've lost like 80 pounds in the last year. So,
Good for you.
Congrats.
yeah, I'm feeling good.
Good.
he even hit the gym before our appointment today.
Oh, see, that's too much there. You know what I did this morning?
Sorry that we're late, guys. We had some other business to attend to before we could get started on Forrest's appointment today. So hopefully we haven't missed your whole show.
Oh no, we were
Nope.
just kind of getting into
We're
the
just
thick of it.
Yep, just getting
Yeah.
into it.
Talking about tattoos and tattooers and
Yeah, we've been showing off some different artists for the past half hour or so.
Okay.
Forrest, if you could flip your camera, we'd get a little bit more out of the view.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Like now I
Not
can't really
flip, I
see.
mean like actually
Oh,
fold
yeah,
it
gotcha.
the other way.
1 second.
Horizontos.
There we
Awesome.
go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that wide shot.
Wide shots.
Here, I'll give you like a vertical of how far we got yesterday.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Oh, you guys-
Look at
Wow,
those
that's
views.
sweet. That's awesome.
how have your travels been, Forrest?
Not too bad. I've just been hanging out in Atlanta here. I've been getting used to it from the multiple trips. I think this is like my 3rd trip down here, so I'm getting a little used to the area and stuff. It's always good coming down and hanging out down here. For getting blasted on my ribs, like it's pretty enjoyable.
Could be worse.
Sure.
It's not too bad.
I'm sure Fawn's having flashbacks from seeing this room.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've definitely spent my share of time in that exact position, Forrest. Exactly.
It looks
exactly
cozy.
what you're doing. I've been there.
Quick fun. What picture on the wall in that room is Forrest looking at?
There's
Forrest,
like
don't turn the camera.
I always look at the weird little like clock. There's like a weird little clock and a vaporizer and some
5 minute
little
clock.
knickknacks
Oh,
on
yes.
the shelf. That's usually
That
what I
stuff
was
is
doing.
gone, Forrest. Yeah. that stuff is all gone.
That's
Oh,
not there anymore.
well, disappoint me
Yeah, the
some more.
vaporizer and the clock are both just gone. I don't know what happened to them. I can't even remember. I think the clock is at my house and the vaporizer I think just died. Apparently you have to wash those out and clean them every once in a while.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Nature clean. Patience.
Gotta run your maintenance. Yeah, I got the same flashback though. Like as soon as I got here and like looked around at the, like 3 posters that I stare at the whole time, I was like, oh shit, it's happening again.
In some ways, it can be a pathway back to that comfortable mind area that you want to be in. So when you're in surroundings and you're in that, I've been in this spot before. I know I made it out last time. There's a lot of. There's
That's
a lot
why
of
I ended
comfort
up.
in that.
I ended up buying a painting off Adam and stuff. I feel like it's like the best time to buy art too. Artist has got like some paintings up. Like I just like remember getting caught in all these
Yeah.
little details and stuff.
Yeah.
And go back to it. I
there's
had to
this
get the
roadway
painting that
one
I kept going
right
into.
Russ, that one. I'm staring at that one.
No,
It's pretty sick.
this is like one of my prized possessions. I got it just about a year ago, and it really, if you should get close to it. It's insane. Like show all the
That's
detail.
so cool.
So this was done by Rob Goodkind, a tattooer from Chicago,
Wow.
and this is the original of that. And he started this before COVID-19, but he finished it during the beginning of the pandemic. So I kind of think of it as that.
Did you seal it off? So are you going to be patient 0 in 10 years when that frame breaks?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't lick the paint.
That's so cool. That's such a big. I didn't realize how
That's
big. I
rad.
didn't realize how big that was until you stood back a bit. That's so cool.
Yeah, but at least there's some good art to stare at while I'm here suffering a little bit.
Yeah, it helps a lot. That's my other than the people walking by at conventions, if you're not like staring at what's going on, there's a lack of things to look at. You end up staring at a black banister railing or counting the patterns of the hotel floor.
Right.
Like,
The spots on the asbestos ceiling tiles.
right. There's
Oh.
3,000.
Josh
There's
kept offering
dots
me
per
sunglasses when I was getting my chest piece done because I was just staring at the convention lights in Phoenix for 2 days straight.
Ouch.
Not much of a view.
That's a good that's a super hidden tip that you just laid there.
Sunglasses.
Convention lights and
Mhm.
staring up at fluorescent bulbs for a long appointment might be worth bringing some
Some
shades.
of my clients asked me, they're like, is it weird if I put my sunglasses on? It's like, no,
feel like
I've got the room with the brightest lights in the building. You
Yeah.
see these
I almost feel like
extra
that might make me
daylight
feel more
bulbs?
comfortable
We're good.
having
Put
sunglasses
on your
on.
invisible
If I was
shades
trying to
like Big
disconnect.
Yeah.
Daddy. Nobody can see me if I put my sunglasses.
You know, guys,
Right.
Gabe made a really good comment the other
With
day
my
in the
thing.
weekly show about if you're an artist, have you gotten tattooed in your own station? Have you experienced that yourself, like your clients?
Ooh.
So for me, I have actually been tattooed in my exact chair and everything. because I got worked on by Adam first. So I moved from the station that I got tattooed in to the station that I tattooed in.
Yeah.
You moved into his
Yeah.
station.
Yeah. And I still have all that same equipment and stuff. Well, I've got my own stool now. I don't know where my stool went, but it's cool. It's got an alien sticker on it.
Yeah. I'd love to get tattooed in my station right now.
I'll zap you right now, bro. Let's
But-
So
go.
and not since my
Guy
last
and I
studio.
actually had a conversation about this one time, and he recommends that every artist should be tattooed in their own station, so
I see
you
you
know what your
shamelessly plugging.
clients are looking at and looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
what is the atmosphere like for the person that's going through the trauma?
Right.
Like, is it peaceful? Is it relaxing? Is there enough eye candy to keep them engaged and distracted? You know what I mean? Like,
Find time to spend 5 hours on your tattoo chair.
I'm just saying, guys. I think I'll tattoo you. If that's what you're asking me here, if you wanna experience what could be a legend, I could be. I have
legendary
untapped
tattoo.
potential. Do you guys want like the first ones?
I mean, I've been tattooed in my tattoo chair. I haven't been
I would
tattooed
be
in my
honored
I'm
space.
just saying, I'm willing to offer this experience to you if
But-
you want it. That's
As
all
long
I'm
as it's the
saying.
first.
The
Then you better
first.
watch out. I had this conversation before, and I ended up tattooing someone's face. Well, right next to their ear. So
That counts.
yeah,
I think you just became my hero.
that apprenticeship, that 30-second
pressure.
apprenticeship is the best experience of my life.
You went straight to face.
Trial by fire.
It's a bonding experience.
I don't know if proud's the right word or what, but that's amazing. That's amazing. Life goals.
Hey Russ, do you mind me asking what machine you use?
Yeah, I'm using the Cheyenne Solnova Unlimited. This is the 4.0 stroke.
Oh, the
version of
4.0. Okay, I
Yeah.
actually just bought the 3.5 here like 2 weeks ago. Was using the Cheyenne Hawk pen for like the past 4 years, and it actually took a poop on me.
Oh no.
Just
Well-
stop working. I've had it worked on by them a couple times. I figured it's got its use. I wanted to try out the
Yeah.
Solnova, so it's honestly I've got a good 4 or 5 tattoos in with it right now, and it's been amazing.
I'm glad you're liking it. I think I started with the 3.5 stroke, and then I was curious what the difference would be with the 4.0 stroke. And I think if you're trying to discover like why one might be better than the other, I do think that the 4.0 stroke is generally better with larger grouping lines,
Okay.
and maybe with, kind of color packing and sort of like fast tattooing. And if I was doing something more subtle, like smaller thin lines and, black and gray smooth tattooing, I might opt for the 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not, I could pick either one for any tattoo and I wouldn't be at a huge disadvantage, right? So it's just
Absolutely.
a subtle difference for me.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering how the 4.0 of that ran. Kind of want to get one in time. Definitely if it runs bigger liner needle groupings. Well,
And I hear that Cheyenne is coming out with some new bigger liner groupings really soon that are some that I tested
oh
over
really?
the last couple of years. So I'm happy to try those out, in their final version, hopefully soon.
That's really cool. I'm excited for that.
Yes. I was looking for this one, seashell. We need this one.
Oh yeah.
It's
Love me
like
some
the
seashell.
glow on the scroll work, right?
Yeah, this is for like the sort of warm kind of pinky color that happens in the drawing. You can show the drawing. And so it's going to be like these parts here. This part here will be this color seashell.
Nice.
Oh nice.
I think it's like a
Yeah,
perfect
that's
match for
perfect.
it. It's like a kind of it's not a pure pink, it's not just red and white mixed together. It's got some sort of fleshy sort of quality to it.
Right. Just
It's really nice in the
slightly muted.
skin. I have like,
that.
pure pink here, right? And there's just seashell is just a little, like seashell is here and pink is here. It's like the
Oh,
same
yeah.
value more or less, but seashell is a little like more dull. I don't know if you can tell on the screen. But
Yeah, I can see it for sure.
So I might
Definitely
use
see the
pink
difference.
a little bit, just when I want it to be a little more intense, I might use that one, but I think mostly it'll be seashell.
Yeah, I like that difference though. I feel like that's a good one to jump to, and I'm trying to get a little bit of a different pink out of something I'm working with.
It looks really nice in skin too. It's surprising.
Nice.
It's meant to be more of like a portrait-y color, I think. It comes
Yeah.
from their portrait skin tone set, so maybe it was mixed with flesh tone.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like it would be really good with bio and really like blending out the flesh tones.
Yeah. Yeah, if I were doing a color portrait or something like that, I might use this for the cheeks or, you know, the end of the tip of the nose, something
Okay.
like that. There's like more, you know, ruddy parts of the face.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that.
As a non-artist, the availability of colors, it blows my mind on how you guys make those decisions on where focal points can be because of the whole concept of creating that color wheel, if you will, blows my mind. This color goes with this color, but don't go too far into the greens because then you're gonna screw the whole mood of the entire piece. And I don't know, that it's always crazy to me, the decisions that are made.
One of the things I love about my visits to Ink and Dagger is even if I wasn't tattooing, just like having all of those colors at my disposal, because like Russ has every color available by anybody. So it's like, ooh, I'd love to see what this looks like next to this. And you
The
can see
palette
like,
is open.
because you know how I talk about like the subtle nuances between like the Star Bright and Eternal palettes.
Right.
Like, they sometimes look like dead ringers, but like this one might mix better with other colors, or this one might saturate better by itself. Like there's those like,
You
they
could tell
might
me what
look like
color
the same color out of the bottle, but they're going to work a little differently.
feel a little different.
Yeah, it's why I think it's worthwhile to like experiment and try all the colors available. Like when you have a chance to try a new brand, try several colors from that company before you make any decisions. Because like, you know, my palette used to be 90% Star Bright. It's probably like 60% now, but I've got so many other colors that I'm really enjoying working with, and like like I said, it might be the same exact red, but I'm going to work with the two colors or the two inks differently.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel that big time. I've been on Eternal most of forever, and I really like Eternal, but also now that we started carrying Star Bright, I've been starting to buy a lot of Star Bright and finding a lot of colors that Eternal doesn't have, or just slightly different colors. And even the way they pack a little bit, I feel like the consistency is just a little bit different, and I'm really enjoying it.
I'm really
even when
impressed.
it comes to the blacks, I'm really loving the black.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the raw colors and the radiant colors. Like those are two new brands that I've been kind of working with a little bit, and I'm really impressed
I haven't
with
tried
both
raw
of them.
yet.
You need to start playing with them. They're
Okay.
super like, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the raw pigments. I
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna try it out for sure. Right now, I'm getting used to Star Bright, but I mean, always down to try something new.
Jump around, try them all.
Yeah.
We don't carry
Is that like
raw.
a scary
We don't carry
process
raw yet, do we?
finding-
Not yet.
Not yet.
Probably
What'd you say,
soon,
bud?
though.
I was just saying, is that like a weird, scary process trying new inks at times?
It's really not for me.
I
It's
get excited.
yeah.
I get really excited.
I love it. I love that we're kind of lucky when we got True Tube. So when we just want a new color, we can just kind of grab it. So I've been on the convenient factor, but also like I really wanted to try Star Bright. So as soon as we started carrying it, I'm like, yes, cool. So anytime I need a new color, I think of something, I'm like, ooh, you know what I want? I want this like cotton candy right now, or
It's
I want
cool that we carried the entire
something
palette
that's
right
going
off
to
the
be
rip,
equivalent
too.
to that with Star Bright, and I can just jump down there, go grab it real quick, and check it out.
Yep.
I get so excited.
Because I
about
like
new
thinking of
colors.
colors on the fly instead of like sitting there at home being like, writing it down and like waiting till I finally make my order in. It's a lot easier for me to buy colors when I can just go and grab it. But
It
that's
could be
also
a-
a big luxury. That's a
could
big
be a-
luxury.
If we talk about luxuries, seriously, not a plug, but just the availability with palettes on Tattoo Smart is just mind blowing and super cool.
Nice.
Yeah, Russ just left the room. I'm sure I'll bring that up when he gets back so we can talk more on it. He just walked out of here real quick, but I'll remind him. They're just talking about like the color palettes on Tattoo Smart and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. So I'm gonna put this phone into a different place. Forrest, you're gonna connect from your iPad too, right?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
So
Oh,
my-
yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have Russ's point of view.
I've got this set up. Can you see? Wait? Let me flip the camera. So I have this little piece of gear that I've been using on.
What?
This is a
Look at that
slider.
fancy piece of
So,
tech.
it'll move really slowly.
That's
Starting now.
It's going to go a minute and a half this way, and then it's going to turn and go the other way. It will.
Huh.
It will.
That's so cool.
Maybe it'll
Russ
be
has
cool.
all the gadgets.
So that's what you guys will see. But I think I'm going to turn the phone.
Here, I'll turn my volume down.
This is feast.
Stand by. I want for.
So what's really funny is I look at that piece of machinery and it reminds me that it's a carriage arm. Like I used to build those exact things for t-shirt printers. If it breaks, call me. I'll tinker with it. Like I'm looking at the guts of it. I'm like, oh, that's not that crazy of a design. That's super cool. Sometimes I nerd.
Russ is muted right now.
I think you guys should be able to hear us from my iPad, though.
There we go.
Oh, okay. Yep.
We gotcha.
Cool.
You have to talk to get it to click back to you, though. So once we start talking, if we don't say anything and we just want to watch somebody go,
Hey, Forrest, does this feel like you're getting tattooed at a convention almost in its own way?
Not quite, because I'm always freezing my ass off at conventions, and it's decently so. I don't know. Yeah, you're right though. People watching and stuff, but there's like all the artists and stuff here at Ink and Dagger are always like super interested in sharing each other's stuff. So there's a good bit of like traffic through here, anyways, and people popping in and saying what's up. So it's pretty normal for how we've been doing it.
at least you're in the people popping in. They've popped in before. We've all at least said hello and known each other. So at least it's not just like total festy randos that smell like
Sitting
cabbage
there with
or,
like a beer in their hand, 3 days drunk, kind of standing
bro.
sideways, swaying.
That's sweet, bro.
I do miss conventions. I don't think I've been out to one yet. You guys got any more coming up?
I feel like everybody's kind of trying to figure out what we're committing to this fall. There's a lot going on. I don't want to speak for Jordan, but I'm definitely doing the Jiminy Peak event in October. There are probably 12 things that are up in the air that I'll probably pick 3.
Oh yeah, like one a month.
Huh?
It's like one a month.
I don't know. I'm going to kind of chill out on traveling. I think I'm going to hit traveling pretty heavy this fall and winter. So I think I'm just going to enjoy like kayaking on my days off and,
I got boats.
doing the relaxed things. You got boats. I got a van.
Kayaking.
My van is loaded down with kayaks still. I think we're going to go yakking before art night Saturday.
So what you just said is your van smells like river water and dead snails.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
I was in there. It doesn't smell too bad.
Not too bad.
I can.
So not no.
there is,
I can certify.
There is a little bit of water in one of the kayaks, and I hear it like sloshing when I stop.
Coming like right to your face.
That is a touch gross. Just throwing it out there.
And, I would take my kayaks out and put them in my backyard, but that would just be extra work.
Okay, what we're doing after podcast, after we go eat food, because I'm now like starving. So we talked about food for the first half of this. We're gonna empty your van. Okay, we're gonna put that on the to-do of today.
But then I got to go to the trouble of reloading it by myself. Those are big, heavy kayaks.
Fantastic. Just call me when you go kayaking.
Are you
see?
going
That's a way to.
with me Saturday?
That's an easy way to loop myself into your plan. See, I put you in a position to where now you need me.
Guys, I do want to say, Russ, that's a vertical view. If you'd like a wide shot, then the camera would just have to be rotated.
Would you prefer a wide shot? Would it look better?
Yes.
It does look better for sure.
Okay, I'll do it. Now, is it simply going to be a matter of doing that? Does that do it?
Gucci.
Yep.
I just said that and meant it. I don't think that's ever happened.
Can we see the tattoo in the shot? I can't see the shot, so.
It looks amazing.
I think all
You're
the
beautiful,
shots are great,
darling.
Russ.
I don't know.
No, it looks really, really good. It's perfectly framed.
Okay. All right. Off we go.
This is exciting. I'm kind of pumped.
Oh well, it is good view.
Yeah, that looks fantastic.
It's literally perfect. I wouldn't lie to
It
you.
couldn't be better.
I know we haven't established a level of trust yet, Russ, but I wouldn't lie to you.
There we go. That's where we're going. Does this seem like the right place to start?
How
No.
considerate of you.
Yeah, really.
Is there a better place to start? I really can't imagine what's going to. Yes.
Oh,
Let's ask our viewers.
Just jump
Everybody
in.
poll
It's-
then.
It's all gonna be back armpit tattoo.
that's
Oh,
what's
that
up.
familiar sound.
Go.
And he
The old
sneezes
familiar
right now.
sound of nothing.
Oh, you hear it when you're sitting there.
Oh yeah, well, he gave it the
Right.
test.
There's a light buzz that comes from it. Kind of sounds like
Forrest is such a gangster.
like
He
a light
is.
hummingbird flying by.
I need some of your life advice, man.
I feel like after being tattooed on by two people all weekend, Forrest can sit through anything.
Nothing
I've been
else
tattooed by two people,
matters.
but not 2 days in a row or 2 days over the same weekend. Nope.
I did it one day. That was it.
I've just had two-day sessions by the same person, and there was a whole lot of let's not fucking do that again involved in that situation. I was like, you know what
Yep.
sucked? Every moment of that.
Yeah, it's wild that you just give yourself like a pain vacation when you get like a 2-3 day session.
Bro. Day
It's like nothing to expect except for more pain. You get to go to sleep, and that like hour or two before you go to sleep is literally like the best time ever because you're just like, okay, cool.
Well,
I can breathe just for like a little bit until I wake back up and get right back to it.
What was weird, it was like day 4. So you do your 2-day session. Day 3, you're still a wreck, but day 4, you get this like deep, never gonna wake out of this nap sleep. That just it was amazing. I remember feeling brand new.
Mhm.
That was the only payoff, other than the rad ass tattoo. Don't get me
Fair.
wrong, but that was my favorite part. Recovery.
I like that.
I always pretty much like lie to myself on the second day, like just fake the excitement until it's real. Like not
I love this.
I don't know. I feel like I show up like hating life already. So like I'm just like I'm already a slab of meat. I'm gonna be tortured more than I was yesterday. I'm already defeated.
Just beat me up more.
Right.
Yeah, I feel
I
like that's
destroy
the
my soul
attitude I
again.
have.
It's all, I've already lost it.
Yeah, I've only done it once, so I don't have a lot of
I
experience.
deserve this. I
I
deserve
deserve-
this.
See, that's what I feel
I
when it
paid
comes to
for
like the
this.
putting myself in the client's position. Like it honestly helps me get through it. And it's something I always remind myself of because I just think of all my clients and then I think about how I'm feeling while I'm getting tattooed. And I'm like, damn, in my brain right now, I'm doing like as
Mhm.
bad as like the worst client. Like when in reality, I don't know. I don't really move. I mean, I don't really flail or anything like that or move around. I'm getting tattooed. I actually got
See, I always
good
feel
pain
like
tolerance. I just like in my head, you know, in your head, it feels like it's so much more. And I feel like I almost want to like apologize about it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm moving around. He's like, no, you're good.
I do
Everything
that
you don't,
all
you're
the
not
time.
moving or
I
anything.
feel like I'm flailing. They're like, you're good, dude. Just stop apologizing.
Right.
While we're on this topic, Russ,
I've had
thank you for your patience with me. Thank you so much. I don't know how some days you didn't just like get frustrated and put the machine down and walk away.
Fonz,
I'm
like,
incredibly
I was
ticklish.
possessed and in
So
the
there were
corner of
some
the room.
areas where like he'd just touch me. Like it wouldn't even be with the tattoo needle. It would just be like touching me and I'd like flinch and I can't help it. Russ, thank you. Thank
You're-
you
you're-
for being patient.
I'm just so happy that we made it through eventually.
eventually.
That first day that he was like putting gray lines in and gritting things out, he was like, oh God, this is going to be a nightmare all the way
Oh yeah,
through.
I'll touch you. And when I touch you, Forrest, just cringe in your whole body, right? Okay, so just to act it out.
Yeah, that's what it's like to tattoo me. Sorry, Russ. Thank you so much.
Do you charge extra?
Good example.
Yes, I understand that my hourly rate was XXX last time, but now since you
There now.
suck, you pay me more money.
But one of the things I learned from Russ and the way that he works on me and the way that he would like, he wasn't aggressive with the way that he handled me, but like when he would like like with his stretching hand, with his left hand, he would like just hold me down with his whole hand. Like he was literally like pressing down on my rib cage
Comfortable applied pressure.
and like stretching the skin at the same
It's
time.
almost
But he was
calming.
like, yeah, he was holding me so confidently. And like sometimes I'd be like between his torso and like he'd have his arm over me as he was holding me. And like he could just
the whole body, like he just did it on screen.
yeah.
I don't even know what she's describing, but you know, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of, I guess, good ergonomics that I could use in tattooing, right? Like I would be better off just, you know, letting my body weight or, you know, physics do a stretch, right? So like if I were to stand up and push my hand here and here and just kind of put my weight on him, then I'm not muscling.
Right.
You know, I'm not.
The life just left his lungs as you.
I don't like looking at the back of me, but
I wasn't busy.
you know, but yeah, one of the keys to longevity and long sessions is, of course, to think about your ergonomics for you and your client, right? Like my goal isn't to make it hurt every time my hands touch you, but I'm also trying to get the tattoo done efficiently. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's I appreciate the, I don't want to say heavy stretch. I don't mean it that way because I just, on lack of a better term, it's almost comforting, and it lets me know that, hey, this is the area we're getting ready to hit, and be calm. Like it's I enjoy that slow, hard body weight, like you were saying. Like it's almost comforting.
There's comfort in the confident touch. And
Correct.
the like, all right,
Correct.
hold still. This is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. You're along for the ride.
Well, and that puts confidence in the collector of knowing, no, this is exactly how I want you to be positioned for this. When I see someone that's tattooing that's totally hunched over, or backs are flat, and they're sitting on the edge of their chair trying to get into this weird spot, I'm like, do you want me to move? Most of the time the answer is no, you're fine. But it's a relationship. That balance has to be there. I don't expect you to die in the process of it as well.
My back's crooked like a question mark.
Right. There's also times though where I hear what you're saying completely, but then I got my, like, I'll be trying to get to a spot where I'm trying to be pretty careful and get into, and then like I got my client who's like very concerned about what I'm doing, and it's like, just like, you need me to move, you need, like, they keep asking me that, and I'm like, no, just sit still, do what you gotta do, I gotta get into this spot and stuff.
Oh,
like
the overly helpful client. Sometimes those
where
like,
they're always watching, and like
where it's
always
like,
just like, do I need to move?
You're trying to run a clean line on them, and they're trying to move as you're running the line. And
Right.
it's like, will you hold still? Oh, I'm trying to help you. It's like, no, you need to relax, and I'll move you where I need to move you. You just need to relax and watch TV. Like, look at your phone.
Right.
Like,
I feel like some of that comes with just paying too much attention to like what another person's doing, what you're doing, and seeing that spot and watching as they're going over, and you're like, oh, you want to keep looking, you want to keep moving, you're like,
you can look, but if you look, I can't see what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a trade-off.
And again, that's super helpful information.
I've had a
to
few
people that are
clients like that
starting to
lately.
get large
Great
pieces.
people.
That's
Sorry.
super
Well, maybe I'm a little weird when it comes to sitting, because ever since I've started getting tattooed, I've always been afraid to fucking move.
Right,
I'm
yeah,
just
but
to get
that
mad
seems
at me.
like the case normally, but
You know, I mean, I only move when they tell me to move. I'm, you know,
Yeah, I'm the
Right.
same. They don't
I
even
feel like
I-
it comes more with people who are just beginning their collections, beginner tattooer, just beginner collectors.
well, I'm not that anymore. I
Right,
still
right.
feel that way.
Right. After you get tattooed a few times, you kind of get that, like, the artist is just going to do what they got to do to get the work done.
Your stripes are earned, Todd. Earned.
Oh, well, it's like when Rember was tattooing the back of my calf, I kept on twitching. And by the time he got so sick of it, what he was doing was just basically putting his whole weight down, holding my leg down, and tattooed. I mean, my leg wasn't moving.
We're gonna pin this down. And,
He did.
I had a
Well,
butt cheek tattoo that kept my leg spasming. And
Oh.
I don't know if it was from laying there too long. I don't know if it was from direct correlation from the tattoo or what it was, but like it was literally making my like ankle jump up. And it wasn't, I'm like, dude, you're fine, but like every time you start tattooing my leg, like It took a couple minutes to
It's
get
not
over.
uncommon. Sometimes while I'm tattooing, people like around their elbows and stuff, their hands will jump.
Yeah, it wasn't like a
fingers will
super
move.
violent, like kicking the
Yeah.
ceiling or anything.
Right next to
Just
my
enough
right next to
feel
the
that-
butt crack, like that area, every time guy would like put the needle down, that like I had to try really hard not to like move.
Right.
You know, it was just like my body had a reaction to it. Like it wasn't even that it was like, ow, I need to like move. It was just like, whew, like
Yeah.
mixture of ticklish and, you know, just nerve response and that being a sensitive area. And
Oh, I remember those days. The sacrum
So-
there,
yeah.
awful.
So have you ever moved and caused your artist to screw up?
I have not.
I have.
I did on
Have
my
you?
When Megan and Nam were working on me, and Nam hit a spot and I just couldn't control it. And
Oh
moved.
man.
And Michigan got mad.
How bad? How bad was it?
It was about a quarter of an inch off the line. I mean, you could see the squiggle in that.
Yeah.
But, you know, eventually got covered up in that, but it was hilarious. She was so mad at me. And it was like, I looked at her and I'm going, I couldn't help it, Megan. I mean,
Right. Oh
I
man,
got two people working on me.
I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad, but it's like, yeah, it's a difficult one. Russ, have you ever had anyone when you're running like big ornamental lines or anything like that? Anyone jump and move?
Did he mention Fawn earlier? His worst client ever.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think that tattooing is a lot of tattooing is just being really good at fixing mistakes and keeping the mistakes small.
Right.
So you have
I
to
feel that's
expect.
art in general.
Right. So there might be a little like jitter or two when someone's moving around, but you know, we just know how to clean a piece up.
It's
Yeah,
also a
it's-
very common phrase in construction.
Right.
It's not you're not going to mess it up. It's that you can fix it when you do. Every now and then you cut the board on the wrong side of the line.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I was
running those big bold lines like that, I feel like are almost a little forgiving too, because you can sculpt them out so much.
Yeah. Super technical artisty words.
Bold lines, sculpty.
Sculpty.
Where you make them like bold, so
So-
they start like thin or something, and then you bold, you know, just make them bolder. Use
Gotcha.
line weight.
You guys you got to remember, a lot of people that are listening are artists. So like myself, that have no fucking clue when you say I softly sculpted in.
Sculpt.
Right.
I'm like,
That's where we
know
plant
exactly-
we
Yeah,
plant
yeah.
the seeds in your head. We say the smart things, and then plant the seeds, and then they grow because you're like, oh, now that makes sense.
I'm gonna have to Google some
Next
stuff.
time I hear that,
I
or
just
I got a
figure,
list of googling things.
one of my responsibilities here at the Tattoo Collecting Podcast is to speak from the non-artist perspective. So even if I understand what you mean, I might mention, hey, so what?
No, ask, and then we
because
can
that would-
explain.
Because a
Love-
lot of times
love
as
to
an
explain.
artist, you've been using that word since you were 12, and people that didn't grow up with that verbiage really
Yeah.
don't understand art talk. I understand blends pretty common.
See, I
It's
love
kinda like-
I love having art talk, and then
It's
I love it
like-
when people ask more questions like that though. So when I'm saying things that are over your head, I like it when people ask questions, because I don't like it when people just like leave it like, oh, you said all these things I don't understand. So I listen, but I didn't understand anything you just said. Now I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm just going to leave it be. It's like, oh,
'Cause-
if you don't know exactly what I was saying, a couple things you can ask, I can explain a little bit more.
A
We can have
common
proper
term is called
communication.
breaking it down, Barney, making it so simple that a child can understand. And if you didn't grow up saturated in the verbiage, a lot of times it feels very like
Mhm.
you have to take
Right.
it back to like elementary,
Mhm.
like
Right.
ABC.
Right. Sometimes with those though, you can save like 30 words by saying just a couple. But but at the same time, some people might not understand.
Right.
But thanks for asking and
Yeah,
us
yeah.
explaining.
I'll
I guess as artists, sometimes we don't always know what other people aren't going to know either.
tis my point.
I always think I'm
It's
the
just
last.
so weird.
So
It's
go
just
ahead.
so weird. You don't hear a machine. I mean, I'm so used. I mean, we get. I'm so used to rotaries and that, but I mean, just sit there and watch them do it. It's like, where's that sound? You need to have that sound effect.
Right. Brr.
You, Forrest G.
Is that helpful?
I have never been more satisfied in my life. That was amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
You want? I give it to you.
Spot on.
I'll stop. I'm
It
sorry.
did help a lot.
Okay.
Felt a lot more natural. It felt right.
I felt.
You know, it's
just
really
felt
exciting to be on this side of Russ tattooing.
I bet.
As opposed to be getting tattooed.
Yeah. I mean, so when Russ and Tofi were working on my leg, I could actually like watch and lay back and enjoy most of that process up until like hour maybe 8.5, and 9. I was not having a good time, but the majority of the day I could like really just sit back and like watch them work as they were tattooing. So that was probably, I feel like I probably actually got to learn more and watch more and steal more tricks on that one day with my leg than the whole experience with my back.
Mm-hmm.
I was just hating life every single day of my back piece.
I get to a point where I don't.
Oh, me too.
anymore. Because then it's like you're anticipating once you're mentally.
Yeah, I needed to tune out.
Once
Time
you're
goes
mentally
really slow.
broke,
If I focus on the pain, time goes much slower.
Yeah, my leg was such an easy body panel though, compared to having like my chest and back being the other two pieces that I
Yeah.
had prior to that.
Yeah.
Like the leg was a walk in the park, even though it was 2 artists.
the mental
It
commitment
did
was
suck. I don't want to make
completely
it sound like it didn't suck, but
All
like the
tattoos
mental
suck.
game, that's what I'm getting at. The
Yeah.
mental game was totally different. It was a walk in the park. It sucked, but it was so much more superficial. Like my soul wasn't
Then you're
being
back.
rocked.
I can't remember the
Yes.
last time I got tattooed and was like, oh, you know what? Like that was a blast. Like can we just sit down and do that one more time? I just had some stuff.
I'm
on
like,
my-
I will see you in 3 months.
I just had some stuff on my forearm
Happily and also very
touched up and
patiently.
reworked a little bit, and even going back to like very entry level tattoo areas. I was like, you know what? I don't enjoy that. It's not.
right.
It still wasn't fun.
It's never fun, but that's part of it. I think
Mhm.
the fact that it's not fun, the fact that it is painful, the fact that you have to endure it to
Yeah.
walk away with something, that's what makes
Part of the
tattooing
process.
change us.
I hear
That's
that
what turns
completely.
us into more
That's-
patient people, and that's what makes us be more tolerant, because if we can sit and tolerate the worst pain that we choose to put ourselves through, we can tolerate so much more in life.
Right.
I'm
And
gonna
to
go
choose
ahead
to
and-
like love something so much that you'll go through
You'll sit
all
through
that
it.
pain
Yep.
Mhm.
for that, you know, whether it's
It's
a
a
piece of
different
art or
kind of
anything. It's
commitment.
just, you know.
It's hard to find anybody to carry that passion that long. And so when you see these type of collections, it's mind blowing, even as a heavy collector. Because to me, it's just been like, I've been hanging out with the boys,
Yeah.
you know. But the people that are strongly invested in
Mhm.
travel and in it blows my mind to see these caliber collections.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like both of you are handing me the blood. I'm just
We're
going to call
just
that
like-
out.
we're-
I don't know
our-
what's going on. But
we don't
I'm
have a
gonna pass
rotation
out
anymore.
if
We
you
don't
guys
have a
just keep
rotation
handing it to
anymore.
me. I think both of you just keep handing it to me.
Jordan, I think is the reverse point for us.
Can't
And I'm
say
just going
blunt
with
on
it.
camera.
Yeah, I can. We talk about weed every goddamn episode.
Every day.
Oh,
Smoking utensil. I don't.
Medical
I
apparatus.
thought we were
Ben,
overs
we
at
have a
this
plan
point.
here. We've been doing this on purpose.
You know what, you guys? If you're gonna hit me to a plan, that might have been a key one.
I mean, I thought that was always the plan.
My fault.
True.
Sorry.
True.
I mean, tobacco.
Material. It's material.
Tobacco and materials.
Okay, so are we
Watch.
back to the left or to the right?
I don't care. It's not always to me.
You to Ben, Ben to me.
Okay, so we're gonna
But-
go back to the right.
But watching poor Forrest here get tattooed is definitely not making me feel like looking forward to my neck in October.
You're making you not look forward to it. You don't want
Yeah, I'm just,
Giving
you
a
know,
little
I'm at the
anxiety.
point now where I just hate it anymore. You know, I mean, it's just
to. Oh yeah.
so. And then I'm doing my neck, so it's like, oh,
Your neck completely bare, Todd?
what?
Is it completely bare?
Yeah, it is right now.
It's gonna be like a
Won't
full
be.
on the back too.
No. Well, it depends. Me and Megan got to work it out yet. We haven't sat down and actually planned any of this out yet. We just made the appointment. So she's gonna call me this week, I think. We're gonna talk about it. then we'll decide.
I feel like projects are always intimidating to me because I'm never sure how a design is gonna like fit the area exactly, especially like the neck or something like that. Just like the way it wraps.
Well, see, that's where Megan comes in and trust her to do it. So, you know, for her to fill it and then make a fluff, that's up to her. I can't do that. I couldn't even tell you how to begin to do that. She has to do that. I'm not an artist, so
Are you giving her
and that has
projects?
I always give her free reign pretty much. Like there's a couple ideas I'm toying with. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with. I might go with the whole psychedelic theme again
Nice.
and do peyote and mushrooms. I'm not sure yet. We got to decide. So I got a couple ideas. We'll see.
I've heard the throat isn't too bad, like while getting it, but the healing is just a major pain in the ass. I remember Brian telling me that.
Yeah. Jaeger was telling me it sucked, especially behind the ear. And he said healing it really sucked. So, you know, I'm assuming it's going to be like my ditch. You know, it's bendable like a ditch. So I'm assuming it's going to suck healing.
Russ, who did the back of your neck?
Aaron
Your
Del
back piece.
It was Aaron Del Vedova did the back of my neck. And I don't have a back piece yet, but it takes up a
Oh, okay.
Where's he based out of?
Drew tattoo in San Diego.
That's what I thought. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shot piece, it's like, you know, it goes quite a bit lower and under my shirt line. It was a big one.
Nice.
I remember Josh.
I think I remember looking at it last time you were on.
My back piece just creeps
seen
up onto
pictures.
my neck, and I remember being like, "Okay, that's cool. That's enough. No, that image can stop right there.
Get all squinchy on it, like that
Squinchy.
involuntary
I got more than
squinch.
squinchy.
That was
I feel
probably
like
the
I had to-
easiest area of my back to get tattooed.
Really?
I feel like I
honest.
physically
Yeah.
had to like hold my head down, not like on the back, but once it came above like the cervical vertebrae, like and hit my neck, all I could do was squinch. It was like a involuntary reflex. Like I literally had to like
Yep.
hold my head down, and I was still like squinching my shoulders. It was
Remember you were talking about
involuntary.
body stretching.
Well, that's what I'm worried about because Megan touched the back of mine when she did the cover up, and it was like, oh, I don't know about this. This sort of sucks.
Yeah, Rich literally like grabbed the base of my skull with his hand and like laid his forearm on the
just
back of my
holding you
head,
down.
and then took his arm and like stretched the back this way with me. Just kind of leaned in. I was like, "You ready?" I'm like, "No." No, it wasn't wretched, but that again, that pressure, that comfort in this is exactly the position that I need you in, and as long as we can maintain what I'm doing right here, we're good. Was reassuring.
That confident touch.
That was really the first
reassuring
tattooer
in those
that
moments.
I liked that hard.
Like, okay, manhandle me, but with purpose.
Yeah. In the best.
Yeah,
best
with
way.
purpose.
Nah, Megan just yells at you to stay when she wants you to be.
I'll be right back, guys. Sorry, I got a tinkle.
Get it done, JJ.
I had to do it a little bit ago.
Take your time.
We're human beings, Jordan.
That's what happens when you start the show with 6 cups of coffee.
It's true.
Just saying.
You know?
I was forced to eat a snack because of the caffeine in my belly.
Forced to eat a
I needed
snack.
some cake down there to soak up all that coffee.
What
That's
do
how
you
you
guys
keep.
eat before a tattoo?
What do I eat before a tattoo?
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to sound inappropriate, but I don't mean it that way. But anything that doesn't make me fart, and I try to eat
Thanks,
clean.
Ben.
No, I mean that in the best way, because like you're there for a while. So if you swoop through Taco Bell and or White Castle on the way in and you slam a 12-pack and you've got a closed situation, and I'm not trying to be vulgar or gross in any way, shape, or form, but that's
True.
literally
This is a thing
something
to
that
consider.
goes through my brain before I go. I am a portly fellow with lots of body functions, and I keep that in mind. So I try to eat clean, as dumb as that sounds. I try to eat super clean and something with a heavy protein that I'm not going to be sitting there like I am starving through this, because if you're going in for anything other than a couple hour tattoo, that's a time investment as well as a pain investment, and your body needs nutrients to get through it. So eat something that's going to sustain, eat something that's going to not make you uncomfortable. You don't want the bubble guts while somebody's tattooing your guts. Imagine if you're getting your appendix done and now all of a sudden someone's doing pressure on your leg. It's just one of those things a lot of people probably wouldn't think about.
Eat oatmeal. Seems to last.
Yeah, I try to do something high carb. I actually try to carbo load the night before. Like in a pinch, I'll make sure I do French fries, but I would prefer to do like a pasta or a baked potato the night before I get tattooed.
Spaghetti party.
Yeah, I really like to, because it's a complex carb. So if I load up right before bed, those carbs are going to be kicking in like when I'm getting ready the next day and like the first few hours of my tattoo.
That's like a jiu-jitsu thing too. So like before big competitions and stuff like that, like you can't really eat. So if they allow you to weigh in the day before, they have like a pasta party. So you weigh in and then everybody's like, you know what, I'm going to gain 17 pounds of noodles right now to give me the sustenance.
Yes.
But it's always pasta.
Yeah, I have a super bad habit of not eating enough before my tattoo sessions. I just don't have much of an appetite until like afternoon.
Right.
So, and then like if I eat before my body's ready to eat, then I get an upset stomach.
Right.
So I don't want to sit there with hiccups and heartburn all day.
The level of hangry that is existing in my life sometimes I feel is unfair and inappropriate to bring into a tattoo situation. I'm already uncomfortable. I'm already not in the best mindset of ignoring other things because you're focused so much on I don't want to focus on getting tattooed type of thing. You're intentionally distracting yourself. So if you're adding another level of uncomfort on top of that, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Don't go in famished.
So sometimes, even though I might not have an appetite, I'll pick up like an Odwalla smoothie or a Naked smoothie. You know, the little bottled. You can pick them up at gas stations or wherever. But yeah, I'll get one of those like more natural fruit drinks just because it's a little bit more sustenance and just like orange juice alone.
Right. Something to carry you over.
I do drink pop and stuff when I get tattooed, like anything to keep my blood sugar up, but I try to at least start off my day with like juice or a natural smoothie with my coffee or before my coffee, just so I've got that good sugar. Yeah, the good sugars.
My favorite tattoo snack is actually dried mangoes, like a little sliced of sugar.
Don't lie to us. That's your favorite snack, period.
No, like I in particular make sure I have them for tattoo days. Yes, they are delicious for life, but if I'm picking something to take, it's something.
What? These are nature's fruit roll up.
Yeah, buddy, give it to me. Well, then you dry them out and dip them in sugar. I'm even more pumped about it. So we made it into a nature candy. But that's my favorite because it's just a little bit of sugar, it's just a little bit of fiber, it's a little bit of stickness. It's good. It's good. Nice. But anything like that makes you comfortable, anything that's like that gives you that familiarity, that peace of mind. I mean, comfort food's a thing. So if you've got that favorite snack that you're like, okay, I've had my Pringles, everything is okay.
Oh, yes.
Bring those damn Pringles.
Hey guys, I do want to.
That's my favorite because it's just a little bit of sugar, it's just a little bit of fiber, it's a little bit of stiffness.
We do have some commenting going on in our YouTube chat.
Anything like that makes you comfortable, anything that gives
Got
you
it.
some repeat, that peace of mind. I mean, comfort food's a thing. That's my voice. I don't like it. Delete.
It's okay. It's okay.
Stop.
It'll catch up. Oh,
Bring those damn Pringles.
I do want to.
There we go.
There we go.
Figured it out.
Sorry, guys.
I am looking for our comments right now.
I get to replay of me hearing what?
We do have Atomic Injections 47. He's like, I have a dumb question. No questions are dumb, but let's just
bring it up.
what
What's
is.
up?
He says, no one at the shop here does biomech. It's really my dream. How would I best attract what I want, still being fairly new? And it's not what our shop offers or is known for. So
One of the things that
Draw what you want to tattoo.
one of the things that really helps me when I'm trying
Draw biomech.
to one of the things that helps me when I'm trying to like draw in new clients.
He says, no one at the shop here does biomech. It's really my dream. How would I best attract?
It's coming off your computer.
What is that?
It's not what
You were trying to figure out where it's coming from, guys. Sorry.
So it's like things that
What you want to tattoo?
one of the things that really helps me when I'm trying to
Uh-oh.
one of the things that helps me when I'm trying to like draw in
Oh,
clients.
it's this.
It
Sorry,
sounds so
guys.
strange coming from
Sorry.
multiple directions
It
in
is.
here.
Sorry,
Like it's kind of tripping
we're
me out.
struggling with YouTube.
Like
and
looking
too many
at Fawn while
applications
listening
open.
to her voice come
It
from
was
somewhere
Yeah.
else.
It was my phone. Sorry, it wasn't on do not disturb mode or whatever. I don't know what that is. So anyways, if you are looking to get into biomech, that's what you're wanting to do. One of the things that really helped me when I was in a small town and I didn't really have a lot of other like examples, I would start posting like super close up photos of like leaves and flowers to where like the photography was so close up, it was almost abstract. And granted, I do more organic bio, but like posting pictures of things that you would like to incorporate in your biomech, that was really helpful for me. Another thing, we were talking about cover-ups earlier. We keep bouncing back to cover-ups today. But when somebody comes in with like an incredibly like hopeless tattoo, a lot of times you can use like, that's the kind of person that will sometimes be open-minded enough to jump into a biomech project. You kind of got to pick their brain a little bit though, figure out whether they're more, like mechanical. Like if I'm working on somebody that's a Harley rider, I'm probably going to be like, are you into mechanics as well? Like, are you into like how things function and how things work? If the answer is yes, then obviously I'm going to incorporate like parts like that.
Right. Start to find out what kind of biomech you like drawing when you're taking on, if you want to take on biomech clients. I think definitely having some reference to show your clients will definitely help build that as well. If you're sketching a lot and actually drawing and practicing it, people, and you're posting that stuff, people will end up coming for it. There's no doubt about it. If you keep drawing it and, if you just keep drawing it, however you draw it, people will end up wanting it. You just got to put it out there. But then you can start to ask the real questions like you're asking, Fawn. What kind of biomech do you want? Do you want it to be more organic and slimy and weird, or, like alien skin or reptile skin or something? Or do you want it more mechanical, more robotic? Do you want gears? You want pistons?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of my early, like, I guess it would still be biomech, but I used a lot of like Giger style backgrounds in things. Like we do like,
It's repetitive machinery.
Let's say like a Harley engine. We do like a super detailed Harley engine. Now, what are we going to put behind this so it's not just a floating motor with words around it? Oh, let's Giger this out. We'll just throw some black and gray pipes and tubes and weird little aliens with goggles. Perfect.
Right.
So, I mean, early on, it was kind of like being creative, and like first I'd have to like educate clients that this is even an option. Like, did you know that this exists? Because I'm pumped on it, and
Bio's
I would be pumped
expanded
if you were pumped.
so much.
As soon as you walk out.
Bio is like such a loose term anymore. That, like, I don't know. It's almost like saying, I listen to rock. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like whatever kind of words you want to get out to kind of describe it, and it's like abstract realism is the way I like to see it.
And if you always have example of the type of things that you like to do, having a consultation with somebody, you can have examples of your work in your station right there. This is the type of stuff that I'm currently enjoying doing. And if you can get somebody that's stoked on your project, that's really what it's all about, right? So you have to show the projects you want to do, right?
You're right there.
Here. I'm not
right there
an
with
artist.
that.
I'm just throwing it out.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that was always my conundrum back when that was the first questions that I had with biomech. I loved biomech. I painted it a lot, and I really wanted to start doing it. I didn't have a lot of clientele for it. I had a lot of people coming to me for geometric stuff and, all the old things that I used to do, years ago.
Hey,
but
Russ, back when you started doing like scroll work, when you really started like delving into that, how did you sell that idea to clients?
Well, first it was just bringing around things, There were a lot of tattoos that I did where I was mixing like traditional or neo-traditional, which are like tattoos that are, they don't have backgrounds. They're just flat on the skin, like stickers or stamps or logos or emblems. And I'm working that kind of tattoo, and then I want to mix in something that is, showing depth and, inviting the person looking at it to imagine that they were looking into a depth-based scene. You need some kind of frame, whether it, like, for example, if you were doing a traditional sleeve with anchors and roses, things like sitting on the skin, and then you want to put a clipper ship in. Well, now you're sort of inviting someone to look in and see that there's a sun on the horizon and there's clouds. And I always found that, some sort of frame was make that transition. So I just started to, build on that idea, but I would put like more of a realistic ship, like black and gray rendered inside of that frame. And then on the outside of that, I could still have that sort of neo-traditional, American traditional vibe going on.
Love it.
I like that mix a lot, And then eventually I was enjoying the scroll work itself as, I guess I started to think of it more bio, could I just use those same kind of shapes that I was drawing for frames in a large scale. And I did a chest piece that was entirely ornamental. It was just like this one big hook with, leafy branches coming out. And, after that, I was just like, man, how far can this go? Is it enough on its own to just be a tattoo? And so I did quite a few tattoos that just focus on the scroll work alone. And eventually I got a little bored with that and started bringing in these 3D kind of pieces like this into it. And I didn't even really realize that I was doing stuff that was similar to Persian and Islamic ornamentation and this 3D stuff. Mm-hmm. But eventually I saw, how they decorate mosques in the Islamic world. And I was like, oh, there it is. That's what I'm gonna, really focus on, and is mixing the, Islamic ornamental with the more like Western European flourishy ornamental. And then, I've done some projects that were more Gothic, but not so strict, about where it came from or what, time period it's from, and just kind of having fun with just the way that people have decorated objects and buildings for centuries. And then trying to explore how we can decorate people in those same ways. So that's, if there's like any sort of overarching vision to what I've been doing as a tattooer over the last
Okay, nice.
It's amazing where, like, once you start playing with ornamentation and patterns and tessellations, like, you can push it so far, and then you realize, like I think Russ was just saying, you realize that like that already exists, like somebody already discovered this. And then that goes back to like sacred geometry being universal, and we're all eventually going to come back to these same patterns and these same shapes and these same, like, it's so universal, but we're all eventually, if we play with it enough and we jump down enough rabbit holes, we're gonna run back into something familiar. And I think that's really cool when you look at like ornamental work. Like I've talked about it a lot on here, where I'll go to like cemeteries and just different weird places to just look at eye candy, just to like take different shapes in and take different patterns in. But it all like swirls back to this universal language, this universal visual, I don't know.
Right.
It's just the exciting thing about ornamental shapes. And then once you get into like what different shapes symbolize and what different shapes mean and where different shapes like stack in the hierarchy of things. And then you start looking at like the scroll work and stuff. Like if we just talked about scroll work for a while, like anytime I incorporate any scroll work with my clients, I'm always like, what kind of leafery would you like? Like, do you want it to just be ambiguous scrolls, or do you want to do like an oak leaf, or do you want to do more like an acanthus leaf? And there's different symbolism behind all of those leaf shapes. If you look at like classic architecture and classic like stone carvings throughout the decades. So it's really cool to be able to like not only present different options, but to like start educating my clients on like this visual language that we're all a part of.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
The history of ornamentation. You know, there have been a lot of great books written on that subject, and you can dive deep. And it's really, it has a lot to do with just the flow of people and ideas across Europe, right? And certain eras were more indicative of certain things. But I guess if you look at just the Renaissance, those artists at that time were seeing the discovery of Pompeii, for example, that city that was buried in volcanic ash. Well, that was the time when people were coming back from that site and unearthing all these Roman antiquities. And the artists at the time were looking at that, and they were looking at Greek and Roman mythology for their inspiration. And they were having, you know, a renaissance, a revival of what was classical ornamentation to them in their time. And then we look at that and we're confused even about what, you know, what fits in what era. But there's just, it's really interesting. If you try to trace even the acanthus leaf, you know, which started, I think it started in ancient Greece. And then it was a very simple structure that was used along with grapes and grapevines and some oak leaves and possibly a few other things I'm forgetting right now. And then the Egyptians pick it up and they start to bring in lotus and reed shapes that were more common where they lived, but were sort of their answer to that. And then the Romans kind of go over and copied it all and made it more fancy and kind of did their thing with it. And then we see it on a dollar bill.
It's everywhere.
What, like that stuff on the dollar bill?
Mm-hmm. Them squiggly swirls. You want them floopty doops?
Dupes, yeah. Somewhere along the way, someone started calling it filigree. I don't call it that.
Filigree is just specifically for like lettering and stuff, right?
Yeah, and the correct definition of filigree is it's more like fine, lacy metalwork. So something that you would see in like jewelry or something really, really fine ornate. It still has the same curving, swirly shapes, but it's very fine and delicate. And so I think it's the right word for the fine line, swirling lines that lettering artists or calligraphers use to decorate their work. It's not really the correct word for this type of stuff. This stuff is mostly known as scroll work, but it's based on acanthus leaf ornamentation, mostly from, like I said, it goes back to ancient Greece. What do you know?
That's awesome. Well, thanks for that explanation. I like that.
Oh.
Scroll work.
At this point, I'm pretty sure the language has adapted to call it filigree. Like that's what everyone in
Gets the point across.
It's up to you if you want to be a purist about the words. So I'm going through and putting that seashell color in everywhere that I want it to appear on the scroll work, because I kind of just want to mark it out and then color up to it with the ochre colors.
I saw it on camera. I thought it was bleeding a lot.
I'm turning you seashell color now. You always wanted to be the color of a seashell. It's like the interior kind of like fleshy part of the seashell, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. It's on the inside that counts.
Yeah.
It really is nice to just sit on the side and watch you work, Russ. I almost don't have any words. It's so like, it's foreign to actually like watch you and not feel you work.
Right.
But Forrest, you're a G. Keep up the good work.
That's the thing
You're
that
doing
keeps
great.
coming through my mind. I'm like,
You're doing
"That guy
great."
is a gangster.
I was looking at your rat tail earlier. It's looking glorious.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I didn't want to point out the fact that it was a rat tail,
Oh, he's proud of the rat
but
tail.
I fucking love it. Not so many people embrace the term, and I didn't want to be the first person to break the ice. Dude, love it. I at first was like, is that a snake tattoo on his neck? No, sir. That is awesomeness wrapped in glory. The rat tail.
All right. Yeah, I'm glad it's getting some camera time today from that angle.
Bro, I'm gonna still shot and put it on my main page, like life goals.
I'm thinking about growing it out until I get it do my back, because it'll like go up the back of the head. So it'd just be like a ceremonial like rat tail shaving for whoever the artist is.
I'm just saying, if you need a support group, if you need someone to call in moments of doubt, if the route tail is the right decision, you feel free to contact me, and I will talk you through the hard times and make sure that doesn't happen. Cool. I'll be your rat tail support group, bro. I got you. I got you.
Good.
Rat tail support group. I like that. I asked about the rat tail yesterday. And I was just imagining that since he's from Pittsburgh, that everyone in Pittsburgh is rocking a rat tail right now. I just wasn't aware that culture had shifted that way. He let me know that he was pretty much alone in the rat tail club as far as he knew. So
Yeah, I still looks in Pittsburgh too.
The rat tail is like the most party mullet of all times. You're like, you know what? I don't even give a shit enough to grow a full mullet. I'm just giving you a rat tail, and I'm still gonna party. It's amazing. It's such a statement. Art has never been more expressed in a haircut for me, ever. Pumped for you. I'm gonna write caption for your haircut.
Yeah.
What's that?
I feel like I have to get a rat tattoo to like commemorate it when it's gone.
Bro, like wrap it up like 38 little rubber bands like the bikers do their long beards.
Oh,
and like
man.
put it on the wall with like a shot of liquor.
Fantastic idea.
I'll build you a shadow box. Okay, that's a lie. I will buy one and then carve my name in the back of it.
I like all these words.
Probably won't carve my name in it.
I would tattoo a rat on the back of your head and just line its tail up with your rat tail.
Bro, as a gentleman with a rat on his head, do you know how much cooler I think yours would be? Again, support group. Dome rat tail support group.
Hopefully we're getting something out there if I don't take it up.
I could grow like a weird one out of the side of my head, and we could be awkward rat tail.
Do the Anakin Skywalker.
Oh,
I thought of like putting on my soul too, so I have like a rat tail on each side of my head.
The Obi-Wan.
If there is a fund that I need to donate to make sure that your employment stays where it needs to be in order to support this dream, I'll slide you a 20. Just let me know. Like, I'm super pumped on your life decisions. Is all I'm saying. You're doing it better than I did. I'm proud of you.
We have another question kind of trickling back to the first question that I had asked on YouTube. They say, I want to try out a new technique, new to me, but not feeling very confident in trying it in clients. Do you have any suggestions for that?
So anytime I'm trying something that's really far out of left field, I always make sure I try it out on somebody that's close enough to me that I can watch how it heals. Like, it depends on how experimental it is. But if it's either a totally new piece of equipment, totally new brand of something, I want to do it on somebody that I'm close with. That way I can see it and I can see, you know, how effective my efforts were, basically.
Do it real light. No, I'm just kidding.
Only
Don't do that one.
Just have someone blast it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not an artist. Don't ever listen to me.
Leave it open for cover up.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Don't do
I
that.
know absolutely nothing, but I know that there is a product that is synthetic skin that is available to be tattooed, but I'm not sure as far as like consistency and if it's actually worth the time. Are those products worth the time in experimenting with something new like that?
Something that is really helpful. Sometimes the synthetic skin can be helpful, but it kind of depends on what kind of new experimental they're doing. One thing that's really helpful as far as like convincing somebody you can do this totally new thing is do a painting of it. If you've got something that's way out of left field, do a painting or do a painting in the similar style, or because it shows that you understand and grasp it. It's practice for whatever this new experimental thing is.
So it's pretty much the same
100%
answer
with you
as
on that.
how would you want to draw your new client in?
You got to show an
Because
example of what you want to do.
proof is in the pudding.
Yep, you got to show an example of what you're looking to do. And like sometimes if it's somebody that you're close with, you can, like, for instance, when I first started doing biomech, I would like show off like Guy's work, Ty's work, Adam's work, like the biomech collectors that I love and look up to. It's like, this is the kind of stuff I'm into. Throw in a little like macro photography, throw in some glowy stuff.
Well, like attracts like. So when you
Mhm.
put out what you want around you, regardless of the implication of that, anything you exude, you attract. So
Mhm.
like if you want to attract bio work, put out bio work.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that's just like the number one thing. Like if you draw for the job, like if there's any lesson I've learned in my life, the reason I have like the more like, the clients who come to me for the work that they do, it's because of exactly that. I drew that stuff so much. I painted that stuff. My bio clients, it's because I paint bio. Geo clients, it's because I
Mhm.
used to draw bio or because I draw geo and used to draw it a lot. And then it just became like all tattoo. So it just became tons of tattoo and then bio when I paint.
Right.
And then a
Exude
happy
what you
middle,
want to do.
happy
Yeah.
middle ground. But really just drawing it. That was it. Me posting stuff. One person coming in, then I do that. And then I get 3 people that email me after
Mhm.
I post that picture up, or even just, the drawings.
That's even a sales technique. Even to take this further once removed from the situation, a salesman or anybody that's trying to get somebody to like what they're doing or agree with or anything along those lines has to continually keep that on the tip of their tongue. The reason you're good at selling a product is because you find a way to implicate that product into every conversation. Oh, you own a home? I sell roofs. Hey, so you have to have that willingness to engage, and you have to have that constant mindset and constant thought of this is what my focus is. And then again, that's what puts you in the situations to have those conversations, because you're always talking about it. Eventually somebody,
Yep.
it's like taking the wide shot at the bar. You talk to every chick because one of them's going to think you're cute type of situation. It's the same idea. Shoot wide, talk to a lot of people, always project the same idea and always be consistent in the things that you're projecting. And you're going to end up in that room.
Yep. It's funny. I tried for like months showing people like blackout work and like examples of some experimental things that I want to get into myself. And for months, nobody bit. They'd be like, oh, that's cool, but I couldn't see myself wearing it. And I'd be like, cool, on to the next idea.
Because those are your old
But
clients.
then-
You're looking for a new
But
base.
then in one day, I got 3.
Right.
Like, I just had to say it enough for like everybody to hear me at the same
Were
time
they
and be like,
existing
oh,
collectors,
hey.
or did you bring new people in?
Well, I mean, they're people that know me, but they were like, oh, like, well,
Let's do that.
yeah.
Right. And
So-
being really excited about things helps too. Like when maybe you're doing a tattoo on someone and you want to like start influencing, like, they're talking about bio or something, or you just want to start influencing your own style a little bit and putting it in more, do that when you're, when you're tattooing, you can put the idea being really exactly like that, acting really excited about it, being really excited about it, excited for a style that you really want to do.
I've noticed
Instead of just being
one
like
thing,
nonchalant about it anyway.
when it's something I'm really, really pumped about and I'm like talking to my client or like a potential client, or we're just kicking around ideas, and I say something like, and I don't say this if you don't mean it, but like usually when I say this, I'm super stoked. But it's like, if I had the real estate, if I had the space in my collection, I would want to collect something like this.
Right.
Like when I tell somebody that, when I think most of my clients know how proud I am of my collection and how much work I've put into it, and like, I think a lot of my clients are along for that ride with me.
Right.
So when I'm like, if I had the real estate, I would wear something like this.
This is the direction I would lean.
Yeah. And like, I would execute it in a way that like, I would want to wear it. And that's a pretty high standard that I'm setting for myself.
Right.
You know, like I don't want to do a tattoo that I wouldn't be proud to wear, but like when we're in that consultation and it's like, nah, like I would wear this tattoo. Like if I had the space, I would call somebody and this idea would be on me. But luckily for you, all the big spaces are already taken.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That seems like a really good strategy, Colin. I like that. You know, like I definitely agree with the idea of getting really pumped, you know, in the way you express yourself in front of the client. You can, you know, as they say their idea, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that could work. And then as you have your idea, you're like, wouldn't it be great?
Now think about this.
Sometimes I'll come up with a crazy idea and it's like, never mind, it's just the weed. And they'll be like, no, that's a great idea.
I
Let's
like
do
weed.
it. It was just the weed talking, but all right, let's run it. Oh, Forrest, you're doing so good.
You say that and make him laugh, and he's like, "Fuck you!"
No, that little curl that Russ is in right now is worse than inside the armpit. Like and he's being a gangster. Doing a good job.
Pretty relaxed, having a good time, just chatting, so it's not as bad as it could be.
It's kind of nice watching a little bit of a delay, right? Like in real life, my move 2
I can see
seconds.
the delay between them. It's funny.
A
Between
screen
all
within
three.
Wait, a picture and a picture and a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Probably helps you to disassociate with the pain, though.
Yeah, actually a little bit, I think so.
Sometimes I like to hold a mirror when I'm getting tattooed and just watch the tattooing through the mirror, and even that disconnection kind of helps somehow. Turn it into a show you're watching rather than something you're experiencing yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Almost like looking at your own reference.
It's not so bad like whenever I can actually see it and it's like happening. Like sometimes it's the worst when you're just waiting for it or the first few seconds of the touch, but I don't know, watching it's a little more relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm a part of the audience instead of the person getting their shit blasted.
Right.
The fact that you're talking right now is like, huh?
What do you think, Forrest? Do you think that the minor distractions like this are helpful, or do you think they make it a little bit tougher, as the collector?
I'd say the distractions definitely help. I mean, as long as they're like quality ones, like where it is like good conversation, people, if it's something annoying, that's probably gonna like your patience is probably gonna dissipate even faster. Yeah, whenever, I don't know, you're just comfortable. I always try to like relax my body as much as possible too, kind of like you guys were talking about with like ergonomics. It's the same way, just so I can like make myself as like, I don't know, happy and pleasant through the whole thing. So there's definitely times near the end where all the fun's over and like I've used all of my, I don't know, like abilities on it, but just make that last as long as I can. I always just try to talk as much as I can. Like I feel like time goes faster that way. Yeah, and it just kind of helps you disassociate from the pain or just breathe and relax through it. Because I feel like relaxation is a huge part of it. Like in my most recent appointments, that's kind of what I've been focusing on. Just try to like relax and just take it. Because I feel like the pain kind of passes quicker. Like it'll come in waves, but whenever you're relaxed, it'll definitely go away quicker.
I talk about this a lot, but I always feel like on the second day, it's a lot easier to kind of like ease into that, like just like, I don't know, what's the word? The surrender, to just surrender to the pain. Like, you know, it's going on, but it's like you don't have the mental or physical energy to fight it. So it just is.
Well, you tolerate it better.
Yeah. I feel like the second day it's always tolerated better. I feel like Russ always got way more done on me the second day because like, I mean, I noticed in myself, I was visibly less flinchy and less jumpy the second day because I was always so exhausted from the first.
I've had 3 2-day sessions, and Boris was different because I had to close the shop down and then went back and finished it, which turned into a 2-day session. But Megan's were designed for 2-day sessions, and each one, the second day was I lasted longer. So
You know, you're almost at, right? So you're just like, instead of thinking about what you have to prepare yourself for tomorrow, you're just like, I'm almost done. If I could just
yeah,
then more, you know?
Hold on for one more day.
Plus, you like survive the first day. So you're like, oh, I'll survive this one too. Like,
It's repetitive behavior. I'm alive. We can do
I
this
always
again.
encourage people not to be scared about doing 2 days in a row. It's not necessarily worse, but I love that you can get so much work done and just have one major heal instead of having, like when you're looking at how many days your body is recovering from 5 days for 2 full days worth of work, where if that was split up into 2 sessions, you've got 10 days worth of recovery time. So when you
that's
think
true.
about that,
Yes.
I feel like I'm really able to get a lot more out of 2-day sessions.
Huh.
You never thought about the
The
heal
skin's
factor?
open. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And my tattoo collection here of lately has been, okay, I've already dedicated time to not doing jujitsu, to not being on the mat. My skin is open. Let's blast a bunch of tattoos at once and then take some time off. So like, I never thought of thinking that into large proportion.
Like budgeting the days you're recovering.
Like, right.
Mhm.
Never thought of it that way.
Yep.
Actually, healing's worse than getting a tattoo anymore. It really is.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, especially with the harder spots that you're getting tattooed. Like my
The
neck.
no mercy zones.
Well, yeah, it's.
You know what's fun about recovery is the skin flakes, the trail of like skin flakes you leave places. I don't know if people realize that that's a thing, but like you'll get up out of your tattoo chair, your computer chair, or whatever after like a solid back session, and you have like, for me, it was like they were specifically colored seashell, tangerine, and Bermuda blue skin flakes everywhere I went. It was disgusting.
I always call them
Grossest thing ever.
like wake up in the morning and there's just a pile of fucking flakes on the blanket.
You get in the shower and you don't, it all just starts hitting the floor of the shower. Like I remember getting my back piece done and like, a few days later, you're just like, what? Why is there pepper in the tub?
Yep. That's what we're talking about. That's
Ye-
the fruity pebbles. Yuck.
That
So
juice.
over the next few minutes, we got a little bit more to go on this blizzard here, but Jordan is getting ready to go camping and we got to wrap up in probably the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah,
So,
I got to make it to Detroit in a time limit.
in a time limit.
Going camping.
Going camping somewhere in the thumb of Michigan. It's like a family trip. Me and my girl and her family.
Playing in
That's
the
my
thumb.
region.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where at? Are you in
I'm in
Detroit?
Port. Well, I'm just north of Detroit in Port Huron. So.
Okay. Her family's from what is it? Why can't I think of the name? No.
Warning, marijuana affects the memory.
Yep. Oh, Carroll, Michigan.
Oh, she's on Carroll. Okay, I know where that's at. You're out. Oh, you're in Genesee, Lapeer County.
That's not where we're camping, but that's where they're all from. So we'll go from there, somewhere in that area.
Hey, Forrest, thanks for letting us share this with you. Russ, letting us be involved in this. This was super cool.
Yeah, I always
Yeah, Russ,
appreciate
thank you so
taking the
much.
time, Russ.
It's really rad to be on this side of it and to be able to actually watch and not feel like you're in the way and not feel like you're intruding. And not, I mean, obviously we're distracting you, don't get me wrong, but if you're standing in a shop doing this, there's always that awkward shovel of standing over someone that's trying to work. So this has been really, 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 really cool to watch.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Same
Thank
on
you. Thank you.
on my part. I feel that completely. Super grateful that you came on today. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Watching you work has just been great.
I really like the idea of accidental learning, and we've gotten to watch you like frame out all of the warm tones in this whole area. So like anybody that's been watching live, like whether you intended to or not, you kind of got a little bit of a free lesson from Russ if you just watch his hands.
Yeah, I mean, this is the phase we're in right now. Is I put the black in first because it makes a mess if you try to put it in later, and then I put the darkest brown, and then I needed, before I got too far, I needed to put the light in. So I had to think about where was the seashell splashing, where was it hitting, and now I'm coloring the other colors up to that point essentially. So all that you're missing is more ochre and kind of like medium ochre colors, and then start mixing it out with white for the highlights.
Very cool.
Amazing to see.
I
Yep.
love that.
I appreciate
I
you so
love it.
much, Russ. You're awesome. Forrest,
guys.
thanks again for
Yeah, thanks,
joining
Forrest,
us.
too.
Take care.
First,
All right.
have fun.
Thanks, man.
Todd, good talking to you today, man.
Yeah, you too, man. I can't wait to see that done, man. It's looking dope for sure.
Next
Appreciate it.
week, I have Chris Taylor lined up to join us, and he is the organizer of the Indie Tattoo Expo. He's going to be joining us for Art Night Saturday, so we'll get to be able to talk and kind of rub
Nice.
elbows a little bit and get acquainted. You're coming to Art Night, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll get to meet Chris, and then he's gonna Zoom in next Thursday with us.
Very
So
cool.
he's a super cool guy, so I'm really looking forward to talking to him, and he's super excited to talk with us.
Yeah,
So-
thanks for getting that together, Fawn.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, join us next week, and we'll hear about the life of a first-time convention organizer. We get to hear all the ups and downs, and we'll get to hear about his tattoo collection and his studios, and he's got a lot of really cool things going on. He's also like a lover of tattoo history, so I'm sure we'll get into that as well. So I believe his Instagram is Ink Therapy, maybe. I believe it's Ink Therapy, but his name's Chris Taylor. So next
Okay.
week, tune in. You'll hear a bit, not a little bit, but a lot of bit about behind the scenes at conventions, I'm sure. So,
Yep, be there.
all right, guys.
Thank you so much,
the last
Russ.
thing too, I want to say thank you from Reinventing for everybody who's been watching in the YouTube chat. That's really cool. Forrest, you got mad props from the viewers for for the way you sit. So that is really cool. Awesome show, guys. Thank you.